Yeah, we had a rally at the end. You'd expect, kind of got something to hold on to. They're not going to break the shape. I thought they defensively were excellent.
How slow were we?
Oh, mate,
How slow were we?
talkSPORT Sports Update, brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
It's just gone 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. Ben Stokes has denied there's any rift between himself and Brendan McCullum.
We genuinely are very good mates. We've built a rapport and a relationship away from that, and we've been through, some testing times. We've been through some great times. Do we agree on everything? Absolutely not. Do we have discussions around things? Absolutely.
Our cricket editor John Norman is not convinced.
There sounds like there is stuff going on behind the scenes, which we are hearing little briefings or rumours about. I think there's still some part of this story that is still to be told publicly. Stokes is back to captain England in the deciding test with New Zealand tomorrow at Trent Bridge. Following curfew gate, he says he's apologised to the team, and he and Gus Atkinson are now focused on cracking on. Meanwhile, Alan Pardew says Thomas Tuchel's England were fortunate to leave Boston with a point after Ezri Konsa's dodgy late challenge. Pardew thinks the absence of Cole Palmer from the squad is already being felt.
And he would have been the type of player that I personally would have had in the group for that equation that you had yesterday. When you're going into a World Cup tournament, you ain't just got one equation, you've got lots of equations to come.
The next equation is against Panama on Saturday. Meanwhile, Neymar is fit again and could play for Brazil for the first time since 2023. Steve Clarke's called Neymar a modern superstar. What has he got up his sleeve tonight?
I don't know what to say because I've got the Scottish media here and they kill me for being too conservative. I think we've shown in my time in charge, whether some people agree or not, that we can be very flexible with our system. You have to wait and see. I don't want to tell Carlo what we're doing.
Scotland versus Brazil is live on talkSPORT tonight at 11 p.m.
talkSPORT News.
More than 500 mothers and babies died or suffered potentially avoidable harm, according to a report. And investigators say the driver in Friday's train crash near Bedford passed a red signal moments before the collision. Amelia's got more at past.
talkSPORT weather, brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction, delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Dry and humid with light winds across the UK. Cloudy and cooler for northwest Scotland with a little drizzle at times.
This is World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent.
Darren here, by the way, Darren Bent.
Coming up today, we'll look back on a tough night for England as they were held to a 0-0 draw by Ghana. And off the back of that, we're going to be asking what didn't work for Thomas Tuchel's side. We're also going to be discussing the art of the low block. Does defending get the respect that it deserves? We're going to hear from Thomas Tuchel, from Harry Kane and from Brighton boss Fabian Hürzeler. And of course, we're beginning the build-up to a huge game for Scotland as they prepare to take on Brazil tonight at 11 p.m, live on talkSPORT. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live, and you can get involved. 03717 223344.
Today is going to be the day.
Darren Bent.
Rory Jennings.
How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Just give me one second.
That's all right. No rush, mate. You do what you got to do.
I ripped my earpiece.
No, honestly, seriously. Don't let me hold you up. Whatever you need to do, you let me know when you're fit and well.
I'm ready to go, yeah.
You happy?
Yeah.
Good.
How are you, right?
I'm all right.
Have you been to the bank yet or what?
Yeah, I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about
You don't want to take the stupid bet.
Wasn't that stupid?
You said that Ronaldo wouldn't score in the whole
He
tournament.
hasn't scored for 10 games at tournaments.
Yeah.
It wasn't that stupid a bet. And I also, when you've said something and then someone puts you on the spot and says, okay, bet me.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to then back down, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Don't you think?
No, and that's I thought it was a silly bet because I understand where you're coming from with the bet, but I just thought he'd get a pen from somewhere.
Yeah. But the problem is, what I didn't want to do, when I said with full conviction, Ronaldo's not going to score.
Yeah.
And then someone goes, okay, bet me. What I didn't want to do is start getting into the weeds of it. I didn't want to start going, okay, but These are the parameters that I set.
I know,
out.
sometimes you've got to do that.
Sometimes you just got to go, okay, bet me, fine.
No,
Fine.
Because he's got you, didn't he? What's going on?
Yeah, that's what he did. He got me.
Never bet against Cristiano Ronaldo. Is that?
Yeah.
Would you?
Well, I won't do it again.
Have you been to the? Okay, it's not working, is it?
No, you're having trouble here. You're having electrical problems.
Yes.
I can help you potentially.
No, like, what's going on there? Why is this not going in?
No, honestly, you continue. You let me know when your
I think my charger for my remarkable Paper Pro. Why isn't it charging? Like,
it's very important that we have this conversation on air. If anyone has any thoughts as to why Darren Bent's charger is currently failing him, let us know. 03717 223344. It's not like we're mid-World Cup and there's anything to get our teeth into. It's not like we have a post-mortem of an England 0-0 to get stuck into. You let us know when your electrical issues are sorted.
That's funny. Last week, when he first started doing this gig, I wouldn't say boot or goose, would he? He was like a nervous wreck. Now, all of a sudden, now he's out here, obviously, going straight out demands and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mate, you've created a monster. You set? Happy?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Happy?
Yeah.
Okay, right, we'll continue.
Can't wait to hear this read.
Right, here we go. Right, England played out a bore draw with Ghana in their second game last night. So what did Thomas Tuchel get wrong?
That is that. It's a point for Ghana. They're celebrating like they've won as well. They might. They've held England in the World Cup, a fourth successive tournament where they got off to a winning start, but then get hit by some sloppy seconds. England 0, Ghana 0.
It's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. The good news is we ain't going to be playing teams like that the whole way through the tournament.
How slow were we? How slow were we? It was Southgate all over again.
What a load of rubbish that was. I mean, you get your hopes up every single time with England.
Yeah, that's right. For the fourth tournament in a row, England were held to a draw following a win in our opening game. The 0-0 draw with Ghana leaves us top of Group L with 4 points. And after the game, the boss, Thomas Tuchel, spoke to our England correspondent, Faye Carruthers.
Thomas, you wanted to follow up that second half performance against Croatia with more momentum. A lot of people are saying it was a safe performance tonight. What's your assessment of the game?
It looks maybe like that, but it is just very difficult to break a block down. It was so disciplined and so committed like Ghana today. I think we have to put it into perspective. I think we got a very, very difficult group. If I see other teams playing the second round matches and I see our opponent here, Ghana, physicality, the quality, the commitment into defending is on highest level. You cannot be naive and leave spaces open. We conceded, I think, 2 counterattacks in the whole match. Full credit. You need to be so alert in ball possession, and we did excellent. We committed a bit more in the second half, the fullbacks, because they were so deep. They were even defending in a 4-5-1. And the longer the game went, the more spaces we found. This is just like the story is told so many times. We tried everything to break it down, and they were happy to defend. They celebrated the draw like a victory in the end. So that shows you from which approach both teams came, and it's fair enough. We had in the end we had a lot of half chances. We had a lot of deliveries. We had a lot of set plays. Couldn't convert today to make it our match. We will learn from it and do again. It's easy to say we were not inspired enough. The substitutes were good, the energy was right, commitment, everything okay. This can happen. It was a strong opponent on the other side of the pitch for a second match in the World Cup.
Thomas Tuchel talking there to England correspondent Faye Carruthers. Darren, what did you make of it all?
Yeah, do you know what? It's funny because after the first game against Croatia, I heard nothing but we're going to win it. That second half performance was the best I've ever seen in an England shirt ever since '66. And then fast forward a few days later, and it's complete opposite.
Couldn't both be true though. It was an excellent.
No, listen, I don't get overhyped. You played Croatia. You didn't do that to France. You did it to Croatia. Age inside. I think sometimes we've got to be a little bit more like level-headed in terms of the opposition. I thought Ghana set out their stall really, really well. I thought they played it extremely well. They defended. I've never seen in terms of like a physicality that when they headed the ball, cleared clearances, it wasn't just like heading up in the air, it was going away. So I think a lot, before you start dissecting England and how poor they were, I think you have to give a lot of credit to Ghana.
I think that's fair.
They impressed me. And not only that, the game plan nearly worked for them because they should have had a stonewall penalty. I don't know what VAR the referee's looking at. That is a stonewall. I mean, Konza has taken the attacker up by the knees.
I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what this level of football, this international level, which is obviously the elite, the creme de la creme. I think he's exposed Ezri Konsa.
Yeah.
Both games.
It's one of them where I just think Ghana were brilliant. They got away with it there. But for England, it was just too slow, a little bit predictable. Again, I think you got the selection wrong with the team. And I know we said it before, and I'm pretty sure if you ask a lot of people, they're going to say that we'll all have different teams, different opinions. But I look at it, I thought Anthony Gordon's performance again was below par.
He's got to be dropped.
I think
He's
so.
got to be dropped.
I think so. I mean, the battle that he had, right, with Sanea, right, I've never seen a defender get stuck into him where Gordon had no answer. He couldn't run him. He was too strong, and he was betting him in the air. So in the end, Gordon was just like, "What can I offer?"
What's the answer to that? You know when footballers come up against somebody who is more physical, more intimidating than they are.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work. It's not always that the force of the fullback will beat the winger. The winger needs to be more clever. But Anthony Gordon just got done on every level.
But things he kept staying wide, and that was perfect for Sanea because every single time the ball went to Gordon's feet, he just went bang. And unless your touch is immaculate, it's going to go out of play. Yeah. He's going to win the ball back from you. He's going to bully you. You've got to take him inside and start popping up in different areas. But yeah, I just thought for England, they were too slow, a little bit too predictable, one pace. And I think because of the amount of touches, and I saw a stat during the game yesterday that Gameday and Konsa had the most touches.
Well, Gameday and Konsa completed 250 passes between them.
Well, that's the problem there because the ball's not getting forward quick enough. Yeah. And when you're a side like Ghana, physicality that's quick, powerful, they were getting back into shape so quickly that by the time we actually got it into our more creative players, they're almost trying to break down two banks of four, and it becomes incredibly difficult. And again, Carlos Correa with the tactical awareness for Ghana, there was no gaps anywhere. And again, they deserve a lot of credit. Thomas Partey in the middle of the park was brilliant. They deserve a lot of credit, Ghana, but England just have to be better, which is why I wasn't getting carried away against Croatia.
But do you think this is problematic now moving forward? So whoever we end up playing, because we are going to go through, and I still think we'll go through top of the group. So it isn't quite...
Oh no, we're going through.
We're definitely going through, but we're also probably going to go through top of the group.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll beat Panama, we'll go through top of the group. But what is this a problem now? Now other teams in the tournament have seen a blueprint of how to come up against England.
Well, it's not just this tournament. This has been happening for years. When it's a low block and it's a team that just will play counter-attacking football, England have always struggled. So it's not a new thing. It's not like we've just played against the Titan and we've side and they've gone defended deep and we've gone, oh my goodness, what's happened here? This has been happening for ages. But other sides in this tournament will look at it, and I always like to think forward and think, do you know what? When we play against a better side now, if that's a France or someone, and those opportunities are there to kind of counter-attack, Mbappe, Barcola, them boys are not missing.
Yeah.
That chance that they had at the end where it should have been a penalty, that's a goal for France or anyone else. So, or even not even so much a level of France, even someone like Norway, who've got Haaland. Do you know what I mean? Where all it takes is someone up front who is
clinical,
and it causes you problems.
Do you think we now have a problem thinking about the lack of creativity? So we're a very good team, and when it works well. But we do have a lack of spark, a lack of unpredictability.
I didn't hear none of this against Croatia.
No, but I think you did. I think you did. Because
no way.
You certainly did. I'll tell you why. Because when we were talking about the squad that Thomas Tuchel took, we did say there is a lack. Trent Alexander-Arnold is arguably the most creative player that he could have picked. He didn't pick him.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer is obviously the most creative player that he could have picked. He didn't pick him.
Yeah, but this was all before the game. This wasn't after.
Yeah, but
after the Croatia
game, we did acknowledge that there's a lack of creativity.
Nah, we didn't. After the game, Croatia, all I heard was there was loads of, this is the best half I've ever seen from England. That is all I heard about in terms of some guy. I mean, you said it as well. Watching England, enjoyment. It's the best you've seen a half of football.
I don't think, but the two things can exist together, can't they, Darren? I think it's fair to say, and I certainly did, that the England performance, it was the best game of the tournament, the game against Croatia. I think that we were sublime in that second half. It was almost made more impressive the fact that Tuchel got it wrong and then put it right at half time. I was so impressed by the way that England played, and we put a very good Croatia side that were the best seed that we could have played. They were the best seed in that second part.
I mean, I didn't play
we put them to the sword.
I mean, I watched them last night, Croatia.
But you can appreciate the result against Croatia and the performance against Croatia while still maintaining that there is a lack of creativity from the bench. Cole Palmer, Phil Foden.
I hear what you're saying, but my point is I didn't hear this noise. After the Croatia game, I didn't hear. All I've heard since we played the last game, Croatia, was that it's the best selection of the team. This player was brilliant. That player was brilliant. But when you analyse it, none of these games are going to be easy. So when you obviously put Croatia to the sword, which they did second half with a fantastic performance, I just knew the Ghana game was going to be a different kettle of fish. Yes, I thought England would win because England have got better players. But it was almost a little bit of a wake-up call, I thought, last night. I think
is there any positive to it for that reason? Is there something maybe that this team need? I saw Gary Neville had said something similar. He suggested that the difficulty of this game could bode well for us in the future.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And I think Thomas Tuchel would have learnt a lot from that, not only from the way you break down teams defending deep, even with the selection of the team, is a big one because it was just taking so long to get the ball forward. And if you play against any well-drilled side, if they get back into shape quick enough and you start playing it backwards, it's going to be an incredibly long game. You're taking moments of magic. Now, I get it. Kane probably should score 9 times out of 10. He would score that because he's one of the best finishers, not the best finisher on the planet. But at the same time, Ghana had a clear-cut chance to go through. Not only was it a foul, it should have been a penalty, it got blocked on the line by one of his own teammates. Yeah. So that I think for Thomas Tuchel in his squad, and Thomas Tuchel is a fantastic manager. He'd have learnt so much from that game, but it was a wake-up call. Like, all of a sudden, you can't play one decent half of football, and then you're going to win the World Cup. It just doesn't go that way.
That's fair. We are taking your calls on this. Get in touch if you have a strong opinion on this. Do you think that England got it wrong? Do you think that Thomas Tuchel got it wrong? And what are you concerned about? 03717 22 3344. This is World Cup Game Day live with me, Rory Jennings, and Darren Ben.
This is where everyone gets him wrong. The thing about Cristiano is it's incredible to me, and I feel it as a great honour that I have become a good friend of his. I love the guy. He's a great guy. We talk all the time. It's a weird thing for me. We became friends because he liked my crime documentaries I did for ITV. Yeah. That's how he messaged me out of the blue, and that was how it started. But we become good friends. And the thing about Ronaldo, I just find incredible. He still gets unbelievably emotional when he scores a goal or wins a game or loses a game or misses a penalty, whatever it may be. To do that at 41 when you're a billionaire, and you've done everything in the game, it shows you that all that matters to him is football.
It shows you that you're playing against Uzbekistan. In the last Euros 2024, he didn't score one goal.
So
I thought we lost you there. You went really quiet for a minute, Piers. What happened there?
Well, I didn't get really quiet.
I thought the line dropped.
Harry Kane had a poor game last night. Why aren't you pelting him like you would Ronaldo?
Well, no, we're just talking about Ronaldo. I'm not talking about Harry Kane.
No, of course you're not. You're not talking about Harry Kane because you like Harry Kane.
Why are you picking on Harry Kane? I thought you were English.
I think he had a poor game last night, the whole team. But where's the great inquest into, has Harry Kane lost it? Is he a has-been? Is he? No one's going to have that conversation because his goal records shows that he is a brilliant striker.
Not the Euros.
Ronaldo's goal record under Martinez that you've just said.
None.
That goal record under Martinez is unbelievable.
Do you think
we should be lauding him as the best finisher in the world?
Qualifies. Put him in a big tournament.
After he scored that goal.
He's in a big tournament. He just scored 2 goals.
Piers,
what are you talking about, man?
After he scored that first goal to the cameras, he says, "I'm back.
Yeah.
People haven't liked that because they say Messi would never do that.
Oh, so what? I love the fact that Ronaldo makes his critics eat crow every single time. Right, the whole of social media for 4 days was reveling in the downfall of Cristiano. Let's be honest, they were. Yeah. You lot were. Everyone was willing him to fail. They wanted him to be.
Piers.
Who's dropping it? Hey, Jack, where have you found this track? Method Man and Redman? No, hold on, it's just... Is it Method Man and Redman? Blackout. What a tune. It's on a Blackout album, but it's called Rock Wild or something.
Darren Bent, seal of approval, right there.
What a tune.
Darren Bent, seal of approval. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app. Now, still to come, we're going to be getting the latest from the Scotland camp ahead of their game against Brazil live on talkSPORT tonight. But just quickly, Leeds United looks set to sign Harry Wilson on a free transfer when his Fulham contract expires. And Manchester United and Arsenal, are interested in Bournemouth's Alex Scott, who could cost up to 60 million quid. 60 million for Alex Scott. What do you reckon to that one, Dan?
Do you know what, right? And this is where transfer fees are crazy. I get it. Elliot Anderson's been brilliant, right? But I'm saying, he's not 40 million better than Alex Scott. I'll tell you that now.
Michael Owen was talking about that. Michael Owen said something like, basically now, if you're a tidy footballer, a tidy Premier League footballer, especially if you're English, you're 100 million quid.
Alex Scott for Bournemouth this season. I mean, I watched him firsthand come to the Emirates and just rip Arsenal to pieces. He's not 40 million worse than Elliot Anderson.
No, I do agree with you. Who do you think he would suit more, Manchester United or Arsenal?
When it comes to Arsenal, I'm just not sure where he plays, because you've got Zubimendi, who's the holder, or Lewis Skelly now. Then you've got Rice as the 8. But again, it's not. You know what though?
Squad, isn't it?
I would take him at Arsenal because he'll get so many minutes.
Yeah,
he's a top player. And you never know, he can force his way in.
Yeah,
good player.
Good player for Manchester United.
Good for Chelsea,
well.
though.
No, it'd be great for us. He was not the kind of player we'd sign, sadly.
Why?
Well,
he's decent.
No, he's good. He's half decent. Exactly. No, I also, from his perspective, he needs to be playing for a club that's in Europe, doesn't he?
Yeah,
don't you think?
Yeah, he's top. I mean, I'm saying he's top, and he has had a wonderful season. But I always think it's that next level.
Yeah,
going to play for Arsenal or Manchester United when you're in the Champions League and all these different various competition, the expectation levels are through the roof.
Yeah. No, he's a class act, and we will keep you across exactly where he is going to end up. Now, back to international football. England defender Mark Gahey spoke to talkSPORT following last night's game against Ghana. He said that England played well despite the ball draw.
I think it was a good performance, actually. Of course, it's not the result we wanted, but there was a lot of good things in the game, a lot of chances that we created for ourselves. Positive that we got a clean sheet today as well, so I think there's a lot of positives to take from it and a lot of things to build on from this game to take on to the next one.
What do you reckon to that, Darren? Gahey there sounded fairly positive, said that it wasn't quite the crisis that it's being made out to be. Would you agree?
Yeah, in the respects of the point they didn't get beat. They've still got 4 points. They still sit top of the group, so they're all positives. Another clean sheet, I guess, even though it was fortunate. But yeah, I understand why he's doing that. And let's be honest, it's very rare you're going to get a player come out after a game like that, knowing the noise that's probably been created, and go, "Yeah, we were terrible."
Do you think that we're catastrophising it a bit too much? Do you think that ultimately England have got 4 points? We played the two toughest teams in the group. We're going to finish top of the group. There doesn't need to be this panic.
Yeah, but this is the problem. This is what I'm saying, is that we went overboard with the Croatia performance. So that's why now it almost feels like we were on cloud 9 after Croatia, and because we've drawn with Ghana 0-0, everyone's face is on the floor.
Yeah.
There's no happy medium. So I think the positives are, as you said there, it's 4 points. They are still top of the group. It was a clean sheet, and also Thomas Tuchel would, if England had beaten Ghana yesterday 5-0. Like Thomas Tuchel, you would have been positive. The nation would have been absolutely gloating, and rightly so. But Thomas Tuchel would have learned so much yesterday from that game, because it was everything that Croatia game wasn't. They were strong, they were physical, they were fast, powerful. They were really, really well organised. When they broke with energy, with pace, creativity. They could have nicked it at the end. It was just a completely different test. And you've got to think to yourself, the further England go, the tests are going to get harder and harder. So in some games, you're going to get a bit of that kind of defending deep, but the quality also going forward. So I think you would have learned.
Do you think we'd be better suited though against teams like that? Like on some ridiculous,
I know you're going with
some ridiculous equation.
I agree with you.
Are England going to be better against
Brazil or France?
Yeah.
Someone that opens up.
So say Brazil. If things go as it looks like it could go, in the last 8 we'll be in Miami and we'll play Brazil. On some weird definition, is that going to be an easier game because they're going to come for us? They're going to play an expansive game. They're not going to sit in. Is that going to be a better opposition for England to face than a team that will put 11 men behind the ball for 90 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. Because all of a sudden now you're getting 1v1s, and it's whether you can beat your man. It literally comes down to that, because what I like about those particular type of games, Brazil, France, Spain, is that there's an arrogance where we're better than you. You know what I mean? So both teams, a little bit like before, and I always use it as an example, You know when Jurgen Klopp was in charge of Liverpool and Pep was in charge of Man City, and both of them would go, well, we're better than you.
Yeah.
So they would just go hell for leather.
Let's go for the jugular, both of them.
That's exactly what I think this will happen. You get Brazil, you get England, and both of them will be going, well, we're better than them.
Yeah,
so then the game's open, and then it's up to England's more creative players, the Judes, Saki or Madueke, Gordon or Rashford, Harry Kane.
Go and win the game.
Go and win the game.
Yeah.
Morgan Rogers, go and win the game.
Could be some classics in
What a game
store.
that'd be.
Yeah, can't wait for that. Now, it's time to hear some of your shared takes with Burger King.
Shared takes on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
That's right, we're taking your calls. What did Thomas Tuchel get wrong against Ghana last night? Give us a ring, 03717 223344. George, Middlesbrough fan. How are you, George?
Yes, I am. Nice one, boys. Yeah, I'm doing well. Great show as always.
Thank you, sir.
I think he made a mistake putting wide players on when we were never going to get the wide use. We seem to have this thing in England, in English football and national football, where everything, we seem to be very one-sided. It either goes down the right or the left, or they try and take it through the middle every time. We don't seem to variate in the game. We don't seem to adapt to the game, and I don't think we adapted at all last night. There was absolutely no urgency in the game for me. I felt Madueke was he kept getting past players and then coming back, and I can't understand why we do that. We've got the best centre forward in the world, and he's a great target man to put the ball on the head of, and yet they weren't doing it. Why were we not putting the ball in the box? We weren't going to play past them because they're part of the bus. So why not just stick the ball in the box and then, see what happens?
Do you know what the problem was, though, George? Was that the problem is when you look at the way that they dealt with crosses, set plays, they were brilliant. So if you're going to start putting crosses in the box, you need to overload the box.
Yeah.
And too many times last night, it was Kane on his own. Kane wasn't out jumping 2-3 of them at one time.
I think that would have actually played into their hands. I think they would have been very happy for us
if
to
they just
start
crossed the
crossing
ball.
into the box.
Agreed. 100%.
We haven't got anybody... Look, don't get me wrong, we've got players that can finish from those chances, but we haven't got that commanding presence in the box the way that... we haven't got that target man to aim at.
No. I mean, Kane is good in the air, but the way that Ghana dealt with crosses and set plays, defensively, I thought they were outstanding. So... yes, easy to just say, plan B to put the ball in the box, but just move the ball quicker. That's the biggest thing, move the ball quicker.
Yeah.
But get it forward quicker. When I say move it quicker, it's not side to side, it's getting into the little pockets of space in behind their midfield, next to Thomas Partey, who just sat in the middle of the park and dictated everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks very much there to George, the Middlesbrough fan. And if you've got a shared take of your own, you can voice note us or simply give us a call, 03717 223344. That's all thanks to Burger King.
Shared takes on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Now, still to come, we're going to be getting the latest from the Scotland camp ahead of their game against Brazil live on talkSPORT tonight. But first, it's time for no Googling. We want to know which Premier League side has seen their players score the most goals so far at this World Cup. Which Premier League side has seen their players score the most goals so far at this World Cup? We'll tell you after this.
You would have played with Rashford in against him, Jack. Why isn't he starting? Why is he getting brought on 83rd minute? Because I like Gordon, but Rashford is in a different league for me.
Yeah, I think with wingers, right? Wingers, I always think is such a difficult position because one game you can be the best player, and then another game it don't quite work out for you. You miss 1v1, you lose the ball a couple of times because they take so many risks. You want your wingers to take risks, and I feel like I agree with you, Gabby. I feel like Rashford has spent a year at Barcelona where you know, their wingers over the years and the way they coach them and the detail they give them, like that they're top level. And I think he's had a top season. I think, yeah, he's probably one we might see in the next game. I think 83rd minute was probably too late for him. Like, again, someone who dribbles, he gets that players. Anthony Gordon can do that, but I feel like if you can see that it's not working, like, change the wingers. That's one thing that you can do, and it's relatively risk-free in terms of like avoiding transition and stuff, and probably waited too long for that.
Jack, what type of England fan are you? Having played, of course, at the highest level for England, when you watch us at major tournaments, are you like me and most fans where 1 minute you think we're going to win the World Cup, and the next you think the manager should get the sack?
No. You know what? I'll be honest. Gareth Southgate left me out of 2018. So when he was in charge, of course I wanted England to win, but there was always that little bit of anger in me. So this is actually probably the first one where I'm like a proper fan. And no, I think, you know, I was talking to someone last night and they were asking me, who do you think's favourites? And I don't think, like, right now, like, it doesn't really matter who's doing well, who's not doing well. You know, I think Argentina lost their first game when they won it last time. And this tournament's a little bit longer as well. So, I don't know, I'm relaxed, maybe a little bit too relaxed, and I think we will come good. And, you know, we got a game on Saturday where, like, we can play probably to 80.
Ronaldo Nazario. Need I say more? He's won it twice, played in 3 finals, was once its all-time leading goal scorer. But let me tell you about a day that lives in infamy in World Cup and Brazilian history. The year is 1998 and Brazil are cruising through the tournament in France. They've scored 14 goals in 6 games, 4 of them courtesy of R9. Brazil are favourites for the final, where they'll face the hosts at the Stade de France. But just hours before kick-off, while at their training base, Ronaldo suffers what's described as a convulsive fit. He's rushed to hospital, where doctors don't find anything wrong with him, so he insists he'll play. Back at the stadium, France are warming up, but Brazil, they're still in there. It's chaos. The Brazilian FA have just been given a team sheet without Ronaldo's name on it. But less than an hour before kickoff, a taxi arrives at the stadium, Ronaldo gets out and is shoved back into the 11. Brazil lose 3-0. It's a worldwide scandal. Ronaldo even ends up in front of Brazil's National Congress. He thinks he was suffering under the mental and emotional pressure and he just collapsed. It was truly incredible and made his redemption story 4 years later so much sweeter.
This is.
Yeah. It's Orange. Frank
Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
Orange. No, his album was called Orange.
There you go. Apologies.
What?
Because I was right and I said Orange and you tried to mock me.
No, but it's Frank Ocean. What a guy he is.
Yeah, and the album was called?
Sang Orange.
Yeah, exactly. So you see where I was going. You are listening to World Cup Game Day on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent. A few moments ago, we brought you today's first no Googling question. We asked, which Premier League team has seen their players score in the most games so far in this World Cup? Do you know the answer, Darren Bent?
Yeah, because you told me. Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. 6 Crystal Palace players have found the back of the net. Who has beaten that? There is one club that has got more than that. From
Real
another
Madrid.
country. Real Madrid. You are, again, completely correct. Well done. Still to come, we'll be asking if the low block has a place in football. But now it's time to get a Scotland camp update with Burger King.
Scotland Camp Update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction. Delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Yeah, that's right. It's a big night for Scotland as they take on Brazil in their final group game live on talkSPORT at 11 p.m. tonight. A win would guarantee a top 2 finish. A draw should see them go through in 3rd place, but they could even lose and go through if they avoid a heavy defeat. Our very own Shabana Hearn is out in Miami following the team every single step of the way, and she's been catching up with a Tartan army ahead of this one.
Guys, what's it like going to the baseball when we know nothing about baseball?
The party was good though. That's what we're here for.
What's your prediction against Brazil?
Oh, at least 10-0 win. Come on, let's go,
Is that your biggest fan?
What? Hilts on, tops off. Aye, exactly.
Oh,
Cheers.
That's my dad. He hits me.
And we can head live to Miami now to speak to Shabana Hearn. Shabana, how are you?
Oh, Rory, your ears will be burning, my friend. Just been speaking to some lovely Scottish fans about you. All compliments, of course, coming your way. Hi, Benty, how's things?
I'm all good. Shabana, I think I just saw on social media, do you jump in a swimming pool or something?
Do you know what, Darren? They were like, dare you, jump in the pool's behind you. It wasn't a dare, it was the most relief. And then I got in the pool and the pool was hot. I mean, apparently it's hotter back home than it is here today, but it feels like temperature. I've never experienced anything like it. There's sweat coming from places I didn't know it could come from, and it's just horrendous. And look at all these guys coming in wearing kilts. Come in, you lot. Look, we've gathered a wee Scotland crowd here in the background. A wee Scotland, big old Scotland. Gives them a come on, Scotland! Go on, Scotland! Come on, get in here. Right, I've got young Cian with me. Cian, you've got an interesting story because you're kind of a USA-born boy, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you support Scotland?
Yeah.
But your dad just made you say that because you told me earlier on you like the USA.
Yeah, I mean, I support the USA because I was born here, but I support Scotland more today.
You support USA more than England though, don't you?
Yeah.
And that is the correct answer, Cian. Guys, you're having a great time. You've got a lot of love for Jason Cundy and Rory Jennings, haven't you? No swearing, guys, we are live.
No, they do a great job. All the best.
Doing a great job. Everybody's having a ball here, guys. I have to say it's been brilliant. And there's good feelings amongst all of us that maybe we're going to get a result tonight.
Yeah.
Getting a result?
Yeah. Tonight.
Yeah.
We'll sneak something. I think we'll sneak something. A wee positive 0-0.
And what's hilarious is that we've just spoken to Brazil fans as well. And we keep hearing from other fan bases, Neymar's gone, you can't rely on Neymar anymore. And then we speak to the Brazilians and they're like, who are you talking to? Who told you this about Neymar as if he's still got it? So, guys, we'll have to wait and see what happens tonight. But the vibes are good here. Everyone's thinking that maybe we could nick a point and roll through at the round of 32 and smash Mexico to pieces. Be great.
Well, it's going to be fascinating, Shabana, and it's great to see the atmosphere building up so good over there. Can I ask you, how do you think you approach a game like this? Because even if you lose, you could still end up going through. Do you think that you go there to try and win? What do you think Steve Clarke's going to do?
Oh, God, Rory, Steve Clarke is a legend. That's all I'll say. It's just park tonight for a minute. We've had our first win at a World Cup since 1990. Is Steve Clarke the best thing that's ever happened to us?
Yes, 100%.
See, it is 100%. So we've got to trust what Steve Clarke does. The only thing I would say is that I would like to see a little bit more going forward. I think we'd all like to see a little bit more going forward. Maybe Lauren Shankland. I think if Ben Gannon-Dokes on the pitch, we've got more of an opportunity against a team like Brazil. But nobody's going into this thinking we're going to wipe the floor with Brazil. I think if we do it, it's because we're going to sit deep. Maybe we'll make it difficult for them, and then if we get an opportunity, we'll take it. That's the only way we can, I think, realistically, beat this Brazil side.
Well, that's the thing, Shaban. I think a lot of people back here are talking about Ben Gannon-Doke. They're saying with the pace that he's got and the energy and the speed, he has to start. They said he should have started against Morocco, and they're saying he should start against Brazil. Do you think that would be the right way to go?
Darren, I think it has to be. However, Steve is he's a fiercely loyal guy. That's what I will say. Gannon Doak is only 20, and Stephen Naismith, Steve's assistant, reminded us of all this in the press conference the other day, saying you can't just want Ben Gannon Doak to play. He's still feeling his way around the international stage. You know, he missed out in the Euros, obviously, because of his injury. But for me, all day long, do you want Ben Gannon Doak to start?
I would say so. Aye, get him in.
Get him in. I mean,
Curtis on and all, have a done.
oh yeah, Finlay Curtis as well. So a lot of people want to see these more attacking players. The only thing is that Steve Clarke is making that decision. From what we saw against Morocco, I've got a feeling he might just stick to that and bring him on in the second half, because he did, you know, make a change in the second half. But you know, why not have a player like that on the pitch? Someone with that pace, the ability, the technical. Also, he's fearless as well, you know, running anything. So fingers crossed for a wee bit of Ben Gannon Doak tonight. I think that would be good for us.
Do you know what, Shaban, listening to you and seeing a lot of the Scotland fans, like it's quite a pressurised moment, because you want to go through obviously to the knockout stages, but I get the feeling that all the Scottish fans, and yourself included, are having such a great time that you're just taking in every single experience. So I'm guessing for the players on the pitch, feeling that love coming from the supporters, that's only going to help.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we could go into this just hoping not to lose. If we go and get a point, it'll be absolutely brilliant. But I think we've just got to just focus on that goal difference. At the moment, we're looking in a nice place. We're sitting second in the options of teams in that third place list to go through. So I think if we can kind of maintain that spot, we're booking our flights to Mexico. Like, we ain't going home. We're not going home at this point, Jace. Benty, it looks like we're in a position where we can go and play Mexico. Already yesterday at the press conference, there wasn't a lot of focus on today's game. The focus was going to Mexico. So there's a real belief that it can happen, and also the way the tournament's worked out, the way that this is an expanded tournament, we have the opportunity now with one win against Haiti to be going to the round of 32. Let's just hope we don't get battered 5-0 or something like that, because I don't have the energy for that, guys. It's just too hot to cry at the same time.
Shaban, we've already seen John McGinn doing his customary celebration, you know, and he puts his fingers like little glasses over his eyes. How important do you think getting him and Scott McTominay playing well? Yeah, there you do it well, Shaban. I've just seen you doing the celebration perfectly.
Yeah,
getting him back in the team, getting him firing well.
Hard to do.
Oh, everyone's good at it. It's just a thing Scottish people can do.
We don't get out much.
Well, how important is he, do you think?
John McGinn, I just don't think you understand. He's Steve Clarke's man, he's better than Zidane, and we've got Super John McGinn. Sorry, what were you asking?
Shaban's voice, wow,
yeah,
beautiful.
Shaban, on that beautiful note, we might let you go. Yeah, Shaban, thank you so much for your time.
Fine, come on, Scotland. Come on, Scotland.
That was an update from the Scotland camp, all thanks to Burger King.
Scotland Camp Update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
To be fair, she looks like she's having a great time.
Having a great time.
Like, I looked on social media, saw her jumping in the pool.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, and that must help, because us as English fans, when we're trying to support the national team, there's a lot of, it's not always a lot of, like, there's a lot of love, but there's sometimes a little bit of friction, right?
Yeah.
I almost feel like with the Scotland fans and the players and everyone associated with Scotland, it's always like a feel-good factor, party, like.
Well, I think there's no expectation, so they can enjoy it.
I'm sure there is a little bit of expectation, not
in the same way though.
No, but yeah, it just feels like, and that must filter onto the pitch.
Yeah. No, it looks like a happy camp, and Shaban's obviously in amongst it, loving it. She's fantastic at all that as well. You know, getting involved with the fans.
You were telling me a little story earlier that you might actually end up going to support Scotland.
I won't be going to support Scotland.
Wow.
No, I've taken a punt, Benty, and I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I've booked my trip to Mexico for the last 16.
Yeah,
and I've paid up for a trip to Mexico that at the moment is an imagined fixture, so I could end up even more out of pocket.
Were you saying you could end up with a fixture of Scotland?
Yeah, if England don't get there, I won't go.
If go and support the Scottish.
I'm not going. I'm not going to go to Mexico. I'll get beaten up.
Why? No, if you go
by a load of Scotsmen, they'll kill me.
No, if you show up with a Scotch shirt on, showing you know, truce.
No.
I'm giving you a lot of love.
Truce. No, I will not be going to that fixture, but fingers crossed England can get there. You were listening to World Cup Game Day live with me, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent. Next up, we're going to hear which club side Brighton boss Fabian Hürzeler compared England to last night, right here on talkSPORT.
me, he got his tactics wrong. He got the starting 11 wrong.
Agreed.
How Jed Spence is starting over Nico Riley, I'll never know.
It was a painful watch.
How Anthony Gordon starts on that left, I'll never know.
Yep.
How Noni Madueke wears an England shirt, I'll never ever know. The tactics were completely wrong. Just everything. I mean, Anthony Gordon out left. If Barcelona are watching that and they've signed that cheque for £70 million, part of that fault was the fact that Jed Spence gave him the ball so late that when he got the ball, there was 3 players around him, right? So there's hardly anything he could do but make space. Madueke on the other side, my goodness, how many times did he get the ball out wide and he had room to run at the defender and runs about 3 yards, stops, turns and passes the ball back.
Yeah. And he did it a couple of times where he ran in behind and then got a crossing and you're like, okay, then keep doing it. Then he stopped doing it. And you just seen a quality shift when Saka come on.
Yeah, totally. But
Total
Saka's
more
obviously
policy.
not fit, right?
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford obviously not fit, is what I'm hearing.
I think Rashford is.
Well, I'm hearing he's got a little niggle. That's why he only came on for like 15 minutes or something.
Yeah.
But then you look at the right back. I like Reece James. I think he's an excellent player. But that game for me was crying out for Trent.
Yeah, it was
I mean, if
poor
you
crossing.
need anyone on the right fullback position to whip crosses in, it was Trent. And it also, sorry, Gabs, it also underlined for me that when you've got a team that play in the way they do with 10 behind the ball in a low block and you need someone to unlock their defence, Cole Palmer, I mean, my goodness.
Yeah. It was a game for Palmer.
Of course it was. I mean, it's just, honestly, the manager leading up to this competition, like all England managers, they get me excited. I come on national radio, I say we're going to win the World Cup. I see guff like that. And then I
think
thought...
as well, look, you look at the game last night and you say, okay, you've got a cheerleader on the bench in Henderson who's there for vibes when you could have had a player like Palmer just to open up a game like that. That game was crying for some.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Now, still to come, we're going to be asking if the low block has a place in football. But just quickly, Gianni Infantino has said that hydration breaks are purely a sporting matter and bring no additional revenue for FIFA.
I was going to just lie, blatantly lie. When it was it last night? I can't remember what game it was. And the camera and whoever the broadcaster was, I couldn't remember if it was ITV or BBC. Fair play, because they went straight to the screen. Hydration break brought to you by Powerade.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Do you know what I mean? Honestly.
I know, it's
the
crazy.
cheat liar.
And it's constant as well. Everything that's going on during the hydration break, which should just be called an advert break, it's all brands, laptop brands, whatever, it's all brands.
And do you know what? And they come unstuck last night because of the England game. Who went down? It was a head injury, went there like 2 minutes before the hydration break was supposed to kick in. But the ref
thought we had it. Yeah, that's right. We thought we had it.
And the ref almost had to go, do you know what? I'm going to have to give it just a couple more minutes and then blow up again anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly, the hydration break, he can't sit here and go, there's no revenue from it.
Do you know what's so annoying about Infantino? Just pay us the courtesy of lying to us.
Yeah.
like I don't understand how he can possibly justify saying that it isn't for money. Like, how can you possibly justify that? Just go, look, we want to extract as much money from this World Cup as possible. And there is, on some level, it doesn't quite trying with the way I see football, but people can make sense of that.
Yeah.
Trying to make as much money as possible. It's not exactly a novel way of approaching it, but it's lying like this.
Yeah, again, you go to the screen and you see Powerade.
It's constantly brand after brand after brand. And you've got players on the pitch who should be completely focused upon what's going on in those 45 minutes, looking up at the adverts, watching it. They're literally stood there watching it.
I can see now by some of their faces, I think it was Declan Rice, the camera panned to his face, and he started shaking his head because they'd had a 4 or 5 minute break about 3 minutes before that.
Do you know what's crazy about it? Like, I kind of understand the money in football. And I almost understand that everything in football is for sale. I've supported a team in the Premier League. I support Chelsea. I kind of know that everything is for sale. But I've also always thought that certain things are sacred. Certain things. And I would have said that the 45 minutes themselves are completely sacred. Like, you can do what you want around it. You can do what you want. You can call a stadium as some abomination of a name to try and put your brand onto it. You can do almost anything to a kit in order to try and make it more marketable. But the 45 minutes themselves should remain sacred forever. And they've managed to commercialise that.
Yeah, it's like 4 quarters now, isn't it?
4 quarters. And also, where do they go from here? Maybe they do it every 10 minutes. Do you know, like, there is now a threshold has been crossed where it's now just about as it.
Listen, I don't watch that much MLS. Well, in fact, unless I'm watching Apple TV and there's a game on, it's messy, I ain't turning it on, right?
No, of course not.
But do they have these hydration breaks in their league?
Ain't got a foggiest, ain't got a clue.
I need to know, because I wonder if you play in the MLS, do you have these hydration breaks every 22 minutes?
I mean, it's just absurd. The thing is, they can't do because there isn't the eyeballs on it. The reason why they can market this World Cup to this level,
every single person's watching.
And you've got 48 nations involved. People love the World Cup. People commit to watching it. People spend their time and they go out and they almost revolve their schedule around the World Cup. Yeah. So there are so many eyeballs on the tournament, and that is why they're doing this. But it is hateful what Infantino is doing to the game. Malagusto is also considering leaving Chelsea this summer, but apparently we would want 75 million quid for him. And if you're ready to spend 75 quid on Malagusto, I've got a bridge to sell you.
Honestly,
75 million quid for Malagusto.
He's not great, is he?
That's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing. 75 million. I mean, fingers crossed we get it. Now, let's take a look at the latest odds with Bet365.
On the ball, on talkSPORT with Bet365. Making this summer even bigger with our brand new Matchday Reveal. Available every day. New and eligible customers. T's and C's apply. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
And Steve Freeth from Bet365 joins us. Good afternoon, Steve.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight's games. I have to say, I think there's some, obviously the Scotland game is a huge one, but last night was a little bit nervy. We had quite a few quid running on Harry Kane scoring 2 or more, so we were very nervous. And I know as an England fan, it would have been great to see him put that chance away, but there was a little bit of me that thought, phew, thank God for that.
Couple of things, Steve. First of all, it's a beautiful shirt, the Brazil shirt, absolutely.
On a day when Brazil plays Scotland.
That was my second part of the question. Are you wearing that as a little side dig to Scotland, or are you just wearing it because it's a beautiful shirt?
I've had a word with my pal Jason Cundy. No, listen, the reason being is that my first earliest memory of a World Cup is Hispania '82, and that was Brazil against Scotland, which was 4-1. Adair scoring that beautiful dink, Zico free kick, Alan Ruff just watching them go by, and I actually met Alan Ruff a number of years later in a Glasgow curry house. And he was great company, I have to say. I'll give him credit for that. He did drop a naan bread a couple of times, but barring that, he was really good company. So that's the reason why. Nothing personal. Freeth, I think, is a Scottish name anyway, so I do want the Scots to do well.
Well, it's a very nice kit indeed. Can we ask you, Steve, Cristiano Ronaldo is off the mark. What are the odds on him being top goal scorer of this World Cup?
Yeah, we cut him from 40 into 22, Rory, after finally during the party. He's still 3 behind Lionel Messi, of course, who is our 7-4 favourite, with Kylian Mbappe at 2-1. And Haaland is at 6-1. In fact, the quadruple price for them scoring, the fourfold, actually paid 500-1 last night, scoring 2 or more. So that was why I was quite keen for Harry Kane not to do the business. Of course, Vinny Jr. plays tonight. He's 33-1. And 1958, no, I wasn't born, but not far away, was when Just Fontaine scored 13 World Cup goals. And we're 20-1 about that record being broken at this World Cup, a World Cup full of goals.
Wow, and you mentioned Vinicius Jr. Obviously, Scotland play Brazil this evening live on talkSPORT. And the odds on that one?
Scotland are drifting, actually. They're out to 17-2, 8.5-1. So, but the good thing for the Scots is they're still odds on to qualify at 4-11. So 17-2 to win the game against that Brazilian midfield. You never quite know. I wouldn't totally write them off. Neymar could feature, which is a good chance for me to mention our sub-on play-on offer, which is available on all markets, which displays the sub-on play-on icon. The T's and C's do apply on this, guys, but we have paid out £30 million already on this feature. So basically, when your player gets substituted, it rolls on to the player that comes on, i.e. Rashford coming on for Gordon against Croatia. Admittedly, as an England fan, I'd like to see that happen a little bit earlier last night, but so be it. Yeah, so the sub-on play-on offer is a fantastic offer from Bet365.
Amazing. And obviously we saw a fairly uninspiring performance from England yesterday, Steve. Has that had an impact on the odds for England to win the World Cup?
No, it feels like to me that England have been 13-2 since I've started speaking to you, this last couple of weeks. They've just stayed there as third favourites. It's still France. I know Darren fancies them at 4-1. It's Spain at 11-2. Argentina have come in a little bit. They are the same price as Argentina. Portugal have gone from 12-1 into 9-1 after that 5-0 win over Kazakhstan. And then Brazil drifting like an absolute barge. No one's backing Brazil to win it. They are 16-1 on the outright.
Thank you very much, Steve. Enjoy the game tonight.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, lads.
Those were the latest odds with Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
On the ball, on talkSPORT with Bet365. Making this summer even bigger with Matchday Reveal. Available every day. New and eligible customers. T's and C's apply. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Next up, we'll hear from England captain Harry Kane.
Jude Bellingham left a bit on one of their players, which upset the coaching staff of Ghana at half-time. The assistant coach had something to say. He could have left it, but it's not in him, really. So he answered back, and then it kicked off, and Carlos Queiroz got involved, and Morgan Rogers was trying to get him off the pitch. You kind of sense that, managers are saying, get into him, wind him up, because he could be a walking red card. I mean, what would you be saying to him? I mean, let's be honest, you did have a little moment on the pitch where your discipline went slightly awry, didn't it?
Problem with, you don't want to ever take the fire out of Bellingham. One of my closest friends in football was Craig Bellamy, and you see Craig on the pitch, and he was fiery and non-stop arguing and bickering with opposing players, his own players, the ref, but he needed that fire to get him going. And I feel Bellingham as well. And if you try to curb that from Bellingham, I think you take away from the player. So as long as it doesn't go too far where he gets red cards, I don't think he's let his country down with red cards and stuff like that. So as long as it's controlled, just let that fire, because like you said, didn't go to plan yesterday for him, but he's one of our most talented players. And if we're going to win this World Cup, then I'm sure he's got to be key to that. So,
It shows he cares as well.
Managers do that, though, don't they? I mean, managers must be saying, look, you know what he's like, get under his skin a little bit, anything could happen.
Well, you see what happened in '98 with Simone and Beckham.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they think they can con referees or get in the head of other players, they're going to do it. It's part and parcel. The mental game's just as important as the physical game. But like you said, with Bellingham, I don't think it will ever go to the point where he'll let us down and do something stupid with a red card.
Do you genuinely think England can win this? I feel it's like looking at the Premier League before the season.
Scotland don't go to World Cups very often. One of the times they did was in 1998.
Tony Blair wasn't long into his tenure as Prime Minister, and Bewitched were at number 1. Under Craig Brown, Scotland's route to France '98 was a relatively straightforward one, finishing second in their qualifying group behind Austria, but crucially ahead of Sweden. Their place was secured in October 1997. Fast forward to the following June, and there was a shock omission from Brown's World Cup squad, with talkSPORT's very own Ali McCoist left out entirely. 35 years old at the time, he'd scored 15 for Rangers that season. McCoist would describe being left out as the biggest disappointment of his career, and he's still not got over it.
Absolutely battered.
Craig Brown would later describe that decision as a huge regret and apologised. The tournament itself was a celebratory one off the pitch. No Scotland, no party after all. On the pitch, though, it was pretty uninspiring. Scotland opened the tournament against defending champions Brazil. John Collins scored an equaliser from the penalty spot before a Tommy Boyd own goal cruelly snatched what would have been a famous point. Scotland did draw their next game against Norway with an impressive effort from Craig Burley, meaning they then needed to beat Morocco to have any chance of reaching the knockout stages of a major competition for the first time ever. Expectation was high, but Scotland lost 3-0. Among the goals, Jim Leighton unfortunately lobbing himself after palming a point-blank shot into his own net. Scotland's World Cup song Don't Come Home Too Soon by Delamitri ringing in their ears, the Tartan Army made their way home not knowing they wouldn't be back at the World Cup for another 28 years. C'est la vie. And that's the best French 90s pop Scotland World Cup outro line you'll see or hear in any coverage ever.
He's all over the gap.
Mate, because I've got trying to get to my desk behind you and you're playing Candy Crush, not getting out of the way. You're listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent.
No audio. Yes, him over there, no audio.
Now, still to come, we're going to be joined by former Scotland midfielder Charlie Adam ahead of their game against Brazil live on talkSPORT tonight. But now it's time to get the latest from the England camp with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
On England's Corner, on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Can England now garner the win that will take them into the knockout stages?
The longer the game went, the more spaces we found. This is just like the story is told so many times.
Could easily be here 1-0 and we have 6 points and everyone's extremely happy.
Will be a frustration if they don't have 6 points against their name at the end of the day.
Turn this frustration into a fascination.
If England are going to go on and get the big prize in a couple of weeks' time, they're going to have to solve issues like what they've got in front of them today.
And they're a good side, a lot of good players, quality on the counter-attack.
Garner playing the ball forward. Oh, Pickford's come out! Now, has he taken his man out? Now the referee's given a free kick England's way.
Very, very fortunate to stay on the pitch.
6 yards out and he's blazed it over, and that was a chance to win it.
No, it looks as though the longer this game goes on, it won't happen.
A fourth successive tournament where they got off to a winning start, but then get hit by some sloppy seconds. England 0, Ghana 0.
That's right, for the fourth tournament in a row, England were held to a draw following a win in our opening game. The 0-0 draw with Ghana leaves us top of Group L with 4 points. And after the game, Captain Harry Kane spoke to talkSPORT's Faker Others.
What's your assessment of that game?
Yeah, obviously we want to win these games. We expect to win these games, but we're kind of coming up against a good team, well structured, really dangerous on the counter attack. So it's never easy. We're playing in a World Cup, so you have to expect the opposition to fight for their lives and defend with everything they have, and that's exactly what they've done. I thought we controlled the game well. We had a lot of possession. There was moments in the game we could have been a bit sharper, a bit better, but especially towards that last 20 minutes as they started to tire and the subs come on, we looked even more dangerous and had some crosses there, had some half chances, and obviously I had a big chance. Nico hit the bar, so could easily be here 1-0 and we have 6 points and everyone's extremely happy. In the end, it's a point. It doesn't change too much for us in the group stage, so we just look forward to the next one to try and get to 7 points.
Declan Rice had told me yesterday that you'd spoken to the players about the importance of following up that win against Croatia, because we've had draws in the second matches of group games in the World Cup so far. So in that way, are you disappointed you couldn't get it over the line?
I think it was more... That was what I spoke about, but it's more just to be focused, because it's easy after the first game. I've won since 2018 every first game of the tournament, and of course the excitement starts to build and everyone's happy. And the last 3 tournaments we've drawn that second game, and it just kind of brings everyone back down to earth a little bit, which is not always a bad thing. But it's more just to make sure we was focused, because we knew we was coming up against a really good team, especially dangerous on the transition. When you have, what do we have, 6 days in between or 5 days in between, you start to kind of be itching to get back out there again. So it was more just to make sure we was focused and we concentrated on the task ahead. I thought we'd done that. They didn't have pretty much any chances. So it could have been a game we won 1 or 2-0, but in the end it's 0-0 and we take it.
Harry Kane insisting there that it wasn't a terrible night at the office for England there, Darren.
Yeah, terrible. I mean, it just depends. Again, the expectations were so much higher because of the performance in the second half of the first game, but again, he's a captain. He needs to almost kind of just calm everyone down as well, because he'll hear the noise. I know it's obviously just straight after the game, but he'll hear the noise and the disappointment in the result. And he'll understand as well that he should have won. I think you step onto the pitch, you have so much of the possession that ultimately he's thinking, we know we should have won that game, but you know what I mean? I'm not going to get carried away and tell everyone, we should have won, how bad we were. I'm going to keep it positive. I'm going to keep it upbeat. And you go again against Panama.
Yeah, what do you make of his miss? The chance that it was England's best chance of the night, really.
Yeah. Listen, it's one of those things. Like, I can't sit here and pick holes in Harry Kane in that finish, because it's Harry Kane. I mean, the amount of goals he scored, big finishes. He's one of the best finishers ever in the history of football. When you look at left, right, head, some of the goals he scores are just mind blowing. So, I mean, you look at the goals he scored this season for Bayern. If it was one of them halfway line, bang. Do you know what I mean? So to sit here and go, I can't believe he missed it. It's just one of those things.
No, but that's why I can't believe he missed it, because of how brilliant.
Yeah, but football, if that happens again, he's going to score it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh my goodness, wow, I can't believe he missed it. It's just one of those where he got the technique wrong and he goes again.
We've got to give a lot of credit to Ghana, haven't we? The way that they defended. Yeah. They were resolute. They were resilient. They were fighters, weren't they? They fought tooth and nail for every single 50-50, and annoyingly, it felt like they won every single 50-50.
Yeah, I think they probably did. But even the way they defended their own box as well, there's only a handful of times where we got the first contact. Most of the time it was them. But when they're certainly as the game went on, the counter-attacking football, the pace, the energy they showed to go forward. But do you know, it looked like they could have kept going and going and going.
Oh yeah, we could still be playing now. It'd be 0-0.
But it feels like they weren't running out of gas.
No.
Even with the substitutes that he brought on, had a big impact as well. So they deserve all the credit in the world, because they would have known they were underdogs going into that game. They would have known they would have had to got their tactics absolutely spot on to a T to get anything from that game, and both happened.
Yeah, and fair play to them. They did it. Right, let's now hear from talkSPORT's very own Andy Jacobs from earlier today. And it's fair to say that he wasn't happy with Ghana's low block.
If all 48 teams played like that, football wouldn't exist.
No, Michael Mosbacher would be right, wouldn't he?
Boring.
Yeah.
And it's just, we'll talk about England later, but, I just can't stand.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the low block outlawed. I'd like to see, basically, if you defend with more than 5 defenders in your last 30 yards, it's a penalty.
Yeah. Jeez.
What do you reckon to that, Darren? Outlaw the low block.
Yeah, no, it's not for me. That was, I understand, but I feel like nowadays, right, we are absolutely fascinated with the way that teams play. Right. So obviously, being an Arsenal fan, we've had it all season. Set piece FC, the way Arsenal plays isn't attractive to watch. We hate it. Now and Arsenal don't defend in a low block. It's just what Arsenal, this Arsenal, the way that they play. Now, obviously, people are moaning about Ghana and the way that they played. Now, I didn't watch them last night and think this is boring. At not one point of that game last night did I think this was boring, because I thought Ghana defended really well, defended deep, but you could see that when they had opportunities to break forward, they'd try and break forward. They weren't just sitting there for the sake of it, like kicking it
No. They were trying to win the game, but from a defensive, being defensively stable first.
And it was almost a masterclass in terms of tactics because they sat in there, they defended deep, they didn't allow too much space, and then right at the end they get the opportunity where it is a penalty with a tackle on Konza, or the guy scores it. So if they come away from there winning 1-0, we'd come in today going, Carlos Queiroz, first of all, we'd obviously attack England in their performance, but we'd sit here and go, that was an absolute masterclass of how to defend deep, kind of ride your luck at times, but then when you counter-attack, you get that opportunity and you take it.
Yeah, and that's the point. You see what you just said there? A masterclass in defending deep.
Yeah.
There was a time when we really acknowledged that as being like part of football, something that we celebrated, something that we actually admired about the game.
Yeah.
Like you think about those great Italian sides, Arrigo Sacchi, that Lippi team. Obviously, Jose Mourinho was preoccupied by defence, and one of the most standout performances, I think, in Champions League history is Inter Milan's performance under Jose Mourinho in the Nou Camp.
Yeah.
You know when he comes on at the end, having stunk the place out, celebrating.
Yeah.
That is pure Mourinho brilliance.
Yeah.
And I don't think now that we appreciate the art of defending. Everything has to be an expansive approach, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. And I think what people want to see is teams go out there and I'm sure Ghana, if they wanted to, could play a more attractive brand of football depending on the opposition. But sometimes you have to give the opposition teams respect. Now, England, player for player, are better than Ghana. Like Ghana would probably admit them themselves, the manager would admit it themselves. So the last thing they want to do, and by the way, then this is not the participation award. They're trying to qualify out the group and go as far as they can in the World Cup. So why would they go out there, set up in a way that they can get absolutely turned over? It makes no sense to me. Go out there and defend and play in a way which gives you the absolute best opportunity of getting a result. And I think yesterday they did that, and it was nearly perfect.
Yeah. What do you think about teams going into a game to defend? What do you think about teams going in set up in that low block model?
I've not got a problem with it. I've got no issue with it because if they are like I wouldn't have an issue with it, right? But if France went in against England with a low block, now it wouldn't surprise me because they've looked at England and how they've struggled to break down the lone block. But then you imagine France go into that and they're really compact, really tight, no space between the lines, no gaps in between anywhere. And then they counter-attack with Barcola, Mbappe, Dembele. Yeah. Bro, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a big issue. That
I don't
Elise
understand.
didn't mention him.
There seems to be this thing now where we forget that being defensively stable is something to admire. Like some of the best games that you've watched has been like a really defensive team clinging on for their lives.
I watched Arsenal this season be the best defensive team in Europe and win the Premier League off a defensive, rock-solid base.
Yeah. Do you think it's because people are really basic now? Their attention span is low. It's like all these apps and whatever. It makes people dumb. They can't appreciate that defending is part of the game. Like they want everything to be expansive, and goals means it's good, and no goals means it's bad.
Yeah.
It's also basic, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of that as well as stats as well. I mean, some people just reel off stats for the sake of just reeling them off because it almost helps counter their argument. But again, watching that game last night, not one part of that I think was boring, and I thought they set up in the complete right way, and it was almost perfect because, again, we've said it I don't know how many times on the show, it was a stonewall penalty. Yeah. Now, whether he scores or not is a different matter. We will never know. But if they break away that and they score and they win 1-0, we'd come in and go, oh my goodness, what a performance that was from Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana did everything right. England's responsibility was to break Ghana down, and we didn't do it. Therefore, we didn't do everything right.
Exactly.
We can't hold Ghana accountable and say it's your fault for not attacking.
Yeah, it's your fault for not opening up and letting us win.
Yeah, what do we expect them to do? Turn up and win 5-0? Well, I remember I used to find it really frustrating when Wenger used to get annoyed. You know, when Allardyce would go to play at Highbury and Wenger would find it annoying that he went to defend. It's like, what do you want him to do? Open up and get beat 5-0?
Yeah, exactly.
It's absolutely ludicrous. That was a look at the latest in the England camp with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They're here for it.
On England's Corner on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Right, we're taking your calls next. Do you think the art of defending gets enough respect? 03717 22 3344. This is World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent.
Now, earlier in the show, we asked the all-important question. Who was faster in their pomp? Kyle Walker or Gabby Agbonlahor? Well, talkSPORT's Anil Kandala was at the talkSPORT fan zone at Villa Park last night for England against Croatia, and he put that question to some of the fans in attendance.
It's a tough call, but I'd go for Gabby. He was awesome, and no defender wants anybody with that pace running at them. So I'd go for Gabby. I would.
Quicker than Kyle Walker?
I think so. Yeah, I do. And I'm sure Gabby would agree with me.
Gabby. Well, he used to dart across the field, didn't he? I think he's better than Kyle, to be honest.
Well, we had Kyle on loan for us for many years ago, and he was quick, but Gabby was quicker.
And there you go. It might be a little bit unfair because Gabby Agbonlahor is in that building behind me, but it seems that Gabby's got the vote.
Mate, the rest of the world.
He actually spoke to about 100 people who were there, but we already decided the show's free, okay?
I clipped that up for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what, though? When I think about Kyle, when I go back to that game, Kyle, of like, I think it might be Germany at Wembley, and you was right side of the three, but like you was all the way in the right back position, and I was at the game, mate, and you come sprinting across, mate. Someone was through on goal. I can't remember who it was. It was Muller, yeah. I'm like, where has this guy come from? And you've done that for the last 15, 16 years, mate. Your centre-half pairings with England and Manchester City must have been looking at you thinking like, okay, maybe I can leave a bit of space in behind, because you would always just come out of nowhere and cover.
Yeah, I think that was what my game was based on. You know, I probably didn't create that much going forward with assists and stuff. I chipped in with a few, but not as much as probably what I should have done. So my main game when I got a little bit older was to make sure I can cover the back.
Incredible, man.
Here's a great suggestion. Jill's a regular contributor. She says, why not get both of them in the car park? So
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app. Now, still to come, we're going to be joined by former Scotland midfielder Charlie Adam ahead of their game against Brazil live on talkSPORT tonight. But just quickly, Leeds United looks set to sign Harry Wilson on a free transfer when his Fulham contract expires. What do you reckon to that one? A big signing, that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bizarre one, if I'm honest, because I thought after the season he had, again, no disrespect to Leeds, but I thought he would be at like the reports I'd heard of maybe a Villa type, you know what I mean, that are up there, Champions League, Aston Villa. I thought maybe it'd be that type of level, but maybe the offers didn't come to fruition or what he was looking for, maybe just didn't happen. But I mean, Leeds had a great season last season, survived comfortably. It makes them stronger as well. So, yeah, it's a good signing.
Yeah, very good signing. Manchester United and Arsenal were also both interested in Bournemouth's Alex Scott, and he could cost up to 60 million quid. And Jude Bellingham spoke to talkSPORT after England's 0-0 draw against Ghana last night, and he was full of praise for their opponents.
We played Croatia in the first game, Ghana in the second. I think Ghana knew what they had to do to get out of the group. I think they'd done it exceptionally well. Their defensive shape, especially the way they blocked through the middle and tried tried to get us to play and funnel us to the wide areas, and then they had players commit and help with the wingers, with the threats that we had, and even the runs that we tried to make past the ball. It was all just a bit clogged in the middle. So fair play to them, credit to them, they were excellent. We probably could have done a little bit more to open them up, and towards the end of the game, I think it's just about committing bodies and trying to take risks. But like I said, not the end of the world.
Now we are taking your calls. Do we appreciate the art of the low block? Do we appreciate the art of defending enough? Let us know your thoughts. 03717 223344. We're going to speak to Mick, the Tottenham fan. How are you, Mick?
Good evening, boys. How are you? All right?
Very well, sir. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you. Bit hot, but we're all right.
Good. Good. What do you reckon to this?
I just want a couple of points with you on it. I don't think Ghana have got enough credit from people today. I mean, I had the radio on 6 o'clock this morning going to work, and I could hear Sol Goldstein moaning about how poor it was watching it. But Ghana had an objective to get a point off England or nick a win, and they knew that would get them through the group. But I also saw how much it meant to their fans. There was a report on the news this morning about the fans watching it out in Accra. Yeah. They were over the moon, absolutely over the moon. But as it comes for defending, I watched a game where a team defended superbly against a team with better players than them, and that was Australia against Turkey. And the Aussies done an absolute number on them. 2 breakaway goals that were taken superbly. Bang, there's their 3 points.
Yeah, I think it's a good point, Mick. Do you agree with that one, Darren? Do you think that we haven't necessarily acknowledged quite how good Ghana were last night?
I think we've tried to. And Mick makes a really good point, because you tend to get that, though, don't you? When a bigger side or nation doesn't quite win the game against a lesser nation, the focus is always what the best nation or best team didn't do. But last night, I thought Ghana were outstanding. But I think we've said that. We've both sat here and said that. They got the tactics absolutely spot on. They defended really well. They defended their box. They put their bodies on the line. I didn't even mention the blocks.
Yeah.
They were blocking everything with their body as well. So, no, they deserve a lot of credit. But England know what they need to do next time they come up against the low block, which is be better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's stay with the phone lines. Let's speak to Marcus. Marcus is another Tottenham fan. How are you, Marcus?
Hello, guys. Great show and a wonderful, glorious state today.
Cheers, mate. What do you reckon to this art of defending? Do we not appreciate it anymore?
Well, look, I grew up watching Italian football in the 80s, right? The AC Milan team of Baresi, Maldini, Costa Curta, right? And even, dare I say, as a Tottenham fan, the Arsenal team of Adams, Bowl, Dixon and Winterburn, they took 1-0 to the Arsenal as an anthem. As a defender, your job is to defend. You want to keep a clean sheet. So when you see teams like defenders celebrating a tackle, people say, what are you celebrating that for? Because you know what? We put a block in, we kept the clean sheet. That's what the art of defending is all about. So if you're facing a low block as an attacking side, the onus is on you to get past that low block, to use your intelligence as a footballer to bypass that low block. So you can't come along and criticise teams having a low block. So that quote by Andy Jacobs about, if all teams done it, it'd be so boring. Well, realistically, all teams wouldn't do it, because you go into a game, you might need a point, you put in a low block. If you need a win, you go out to attack. So in all honesty, defending teams and defenders don't get the credit that they deserve. It's all about, look at this great player, he's a flair player, this great goal. But Jude Bellingham, he said it earlier, he was spot on. Give credit to the way they defended as a team, as a unit. They put their bodies on the line, they got everyone in front of them. You watch that game, there was like 2 or 3 players in that area surrounding an England player. No one could get any way past him. That's the art of defending. As Roy Keane say, that's their job. That's what they're supposed to do.
Do you know what, Marcus? You make some really good points there, because I think also as well, I think that the opposition is key in this factor as well, because if you are Cape Verde, like Cape Verde did it brilliantly against Spain, right? Did it brilliantly. If you're coming up against a side like Spain or France, and you know you can't go toe-to-toe with these teams. If Cape Verde try to go toe-to-toe with Spain or France to get beat 5, 6, 7, 8
So what are they meant to do? They've got to come up with a different way, haven't they?
They've got to come up with a way which will hopefully kind of even the playing field and give them the best opportunity of getting a result. And Ghana last night did that.
Completely agree. We're going to speak to Martin. Martin is a Liverpool fan. Martin, do you agree with what you just heard there from Darren Bent?
I've got to be honest with you, no. I'm very much an attacking style of football. Now I can kind of the first part of the game with Ghana I found quite boring and monotonous, and I understand from people's point of view and how they see it and how you know what I mean. So they're a lot lesser team than us in the world rankings and whatnot, but it's just that kind of, I just love that attacking football. Maybe that's just me. You know what I mean? Maybe that's, but people have their own opinions.
But you can love attacking football while simultaneously appreciating a good defensive performance.
Yeah, no, I get that. But I don't know. I mean, the second half, what I've seen from Ghana in the second half was impressive. And I cannot take that away from them. We were absolutely poor. I ain't gonna say what I was screaming at my telly, and I'm pretty much sure every England fan was.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, what we need to do, right, as a unit, is we've got to break that down, and that's understandable. But you can't really take away anything from Ghana. But it's just irritating that we couldn't do it.
No,
you know?
I agree. It was a shame that we couldn't quite do it. But no, that's great points raised there from Martin. Let's stay with the phone lines. Let's speak to Shaz. Shaz, another Liverpool fan.
Hi guys, how you doing? You all right?
Very well. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Before I start on that point, can I just say to Darren, I've been listening to your commentary on the Cape Verde-Spain game and the Germany-Ivory Coast. Can I just say how fascinating and amazing your commentary was? And the insight was absolutely brilliant during listening to that. As for the point of defending, do you know what? Since when has football always only been about attacking, man? It's about defending is an art. And for me personally, as a Liverpool fan, one of the best days I ever watched live was 2001, watching Liverpool against Arsenal. Sorry, Darren.
Was that the final?
Yeah, Michael Owen.
Yeah, when we defended that for our lives for literally 90 minutes. Do you know what I mean? That's all part of the game. And I think I know we all give our plaudits to how Guardiola changed the game in the Premier League. I think some of it's down to because of the football that he's played in the Premier League over the last 10 years and stuff, since he's been there. We're just so used to, we all want to see attacking football, but defending is part of the game. Like one of your previous callers said, I mean, I've grown up watching people like Maldini, Baresi. I mean, it's fascinating. Defending is part and parcel of the game, and even in the Premier League and that, when you win a title, you win your titles because they say defence is when you.
Shaz, that's Arsenal this year. A lot of people have said about the football they played has been a bit dire.
Spot on, absolutely. So I don't understand what Andy Jacobs was saying that if we, low blocks and that they should ban low block. Come on, man. So what are you going to play with 11 wingers and central strikers in the game and that? Well, defending is a dying breed. I mean, like I said, it's an art to defend. Defending is an art in itself, and I think even with England yesterday, I think it will stand them in good stead because I think I might be wrong, but I think they're probably going to face someone like Cape Verde in the next round or last 32 or anything. So it'll help them. Do you know what I mean? In the next game, they know what they're up against. So.
Absolutely, Shaz. You've made some incredible points there. I think I agree with every word,
especially at the start of it. When Shaz
he kind of grew into that call. I thought he started quite weak with that call.
I thought he started
really grew into
any call could start. That's how start.
No, I think that he kind of grew into it. He struggled early on in the call.
No, he didn't. He was at 10.
Struggled early on when he was talking about the Spain commentary. I wasn't too involved.
He started as a 10 and he came down to like a 4. He started at like 10.
There we go. Fantastic callers. Thank you very much to everybody who got involved. Now, still to come, we're going to be joined live from New York City by our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. But first, it's time for No Googling. Jude Bellingham has become the youngest player ever to reach 50 caps for England. He's done it at 22 years and 359 days. We want to know, can you name the 4 youngest players to reach 50 caps for England?
I know that.
4 youngest players to reach 50 caps for England. Yeah, I got 3 out of 4. I'll tell you the rest after this.
Messi became the all-time top scorer in World Cup history, 2 goals against Austria. But it's remarkable, Simon, that he continues to rewrite the history books as he approaches 39. I mean, it is remarkable.
39 tomorrow, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, these players, these elite players that are now looking after themselves. Ibrahimovic was playing up until 41. You know, Ronaldo is playing despite people making observations about his form. You know, that's because they're judging him by a set of standards that he can no longer get to. Messi, at 39 years of age, these are supreme athletes that look after themselves, that are consummate professionals, and want to play football. It makes you wonder, without trying to be controversial, why Alan Shearer stopped playing international football so young.
Oh, that's right.
You know, you wonder why these players can look after them. So you wonder how clever Harry Kane will be that will enable him to play to this age, because, you know, football's a wonderful game to play and you're a long time retired.
Yes.
So well done to him. Fabulous.
He's competing in his 6th World Cup. He scored 18 goals in the tournament, which is 2 more than Miroslav Klose, the previous record holder. He's the 3rd player to score in 6 successive appearances at World Cup after Just Fontaine, great name, in 1958, and Jorginho, you remember him, in 1970.
You at those games?
I wasn't at that. I met Jorginho, incidentally, in Rio many years ago. With him in this form, though, why can't Argentina win the World Cup again? Do you have a sneaky feeling they might?
No. I think that, you know, there has been instances, and we've seen it, and I know that I'm rolling against the precedent.
Yeah.
But on the whole, teams win World Cups. Now, obviously, we've seen the '86 World Cup being dragged there by Maradona. We've seen the 2022 World Cup being dragged there by Messi. I think there are better teams that are able to overcome the individuality of one player. At the end of the day, someone has to provide the ball to Messi to be able to allow him to do the things that he does. And I think there are better teams that are going to be able to deny the support.
If there's one thing Brazil loves more than samba and sunshine, it's football, or as they call it, futebol. And trust me, this love story goes way back. It all started in 1884 when a young Brazilian named Charles Miller returned from England, aged 21, carrying a pair of footballs and a Hampshire FA rulebook. He was basically the original influencer, bringing back trends from abroad. And just like that one mate who insists you have to try their new obsession, Miller convinced everyone to give this little English sport a go. Spoiler alert, it caught on. The entire nation fell head over boots for the game. And fast forward a few decades, it was time for Brazil to start playing in the World Cup. Then came 1958, the year a 17-year-old kid named Pelé showed up and Brazil won its first World Cup. From there, Brazil kept adding stars to the jersey, 5 to be exact, the only country with that many titles and the only country to participate in every World Cup. Jogo Bonito, the beautiful game, became Brazil's signature. It's part of the national identity. Think dazzling footwork, joyful play, and the occasional move that makes you wonder if gravity just took the day off. So next time you see that iconic yellow jersey, remember, it all started with one guy, 2 footballs, and a nation ready to fall in love.
Listen to World Cup Game Day live. I was worried. You sorted yourself out. Honestly, Joe, last week he wasn't doing this. He was ready. Look, earpiece is not even in.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT. Yeah, exactly. You can't exactly do that. You've picked up with a mouthful of Skittles.
Am I ready to go?
No,
Am I ready- am I ready to go?
Second earpiece isn't in, and you've got a mouthful of Skittles.
My second earpiece is never in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
DJ. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Still to come, we're going to be having some fun with the very best of talkSPORT. And a few moments ago, we brought you today's second no Googling question. It was, Jude Bellingham became the youngest player ever to reach 50 caps for England. He's 22 years and 359 days old. We want to know, can you name the next 4 youngest players to reach 50 caps? Darren Bent, you did well here.
Well, yeah, because I got them all.
Did you, or did you need a clue?
I got a clue for Sterling. Raheem Sterling is one.
Raheem Sterling.
Michael Owen.
Correct.
Bukayo Saka.
Correct.
Wayne Rooney.
Very well done. Very well done. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to round up all the latest World Cup action on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Daily Tournament Roundup on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
And to do that, we are delighted to be joined live from New York City by our chief football correspondent, it's Alex Crook. Alex Crook, sir, how are you getting on?
I'm good, and I'm joining you outside the iconic Ghostbusters headquarters here in New York City. I guess the big question after that dour draw against Ghana is, who's Thomas Tuchel going to call?
You say the big question is regarding England. Can I ask, my big question is, the Texan hat has stayed on when you're no longer in Texas, you're in New York City. Is that just going to become part of who you are now?
Yeah, I think he's now brand Crook in the USA, and I think it also tells you just how much I fell in love with Texas and with Dallas in particular. I'm in New York, but in my head I'm still very much a Texan at heart.
Crookie, quick one. You do believe in ghosts? And secondly, have you been inside that iconic building to have a look around?
I'm not sure I do believe in ghosts, and no, unfortunately you can't get in. In fact, I was looking at the windows above it. Looks to me like there might even be people living above that. How cool would that be? Oh, where do you live, mate? Above the Ghostbusters headquarters. That is a claim to fame.
So that would be...
I wonder if that pole's still there, because remember in the film Ghostbusters, they slide down the pole from top to bottom.
What an iconic address that would be. Crookie, I haven't spoken to you for ages. What's been going on since we last spoke?
Oh, what's not been going on? We've been bull riding. We've obviously been on the rodeo. Benty sent me a video of me being thrown off that. We've been drinking in World Cup fever. We've been partying with rich people in Dallas, and now we've made our way to New York. We've just done a show with Jim White and Simon Jordan. Jim's fallen in love with one particular pizza restaurant where he's just taken me. So just had a couple of slices of pizza with ranch sauce. I've been told I've got to get into ranch while I'm over here as well. So yeah, we're embracing American culture, and obviously we watched England last night, and we're looking forward to watching Scotland against Brazil later.
Crookie, what did you make of the performance last night? Because obviously a lot's been made. I personally think that there's no kind of middle ground. We were all kind of giddy after the Croatia result. Now everyone's like flat on their face after Ghana last night. Where do you stand on the England performance last night, and where in terms they are in this tournament?
I think you're spot on. Maybe we all got a bit excitable. I actually said publicly I thought England could win the World Cup after that second half against Croatia, and we were brought back down to earth. As tends to happen, actually, I called it second game pain. Quite often at major tournaments, England disappointed in that second game. It was the same in Qatar, where they hammered Iran in the first match and then laboured to a 0-0 draw against the USA. So we've seen this movie before. What would concern me, I think Thomas Tuchel would be getting a lot more stick if he was called Gareth Southgate, because it was quite a Gareth Southgate-like performance, I thought, from him. Waited too late to make the changes. I think you could have taken off both wide players at half-time. England only really carried a threat when Saka and Rashford were marauding down the flanks. So, yeah, I didn't think his game management was brilliant, Tuchel.
And what do you think regarding the players, the individuals? Do you think anyone has played themselves out of Thomas Tuchel's thinking after last night?
Again, I think the two wide players, it wouldn't surprise me if Saka is fit enough to start. I think he'll be in, and I think Anthony Gordon coming out of the team and Marcus Rashford starting is an obvious one, although I do agree with what Simon was saying on our show this morning. Rashford tends to be better as an impact player than a starter, but I just looked at him when he came on. He had a bit of fire in his belly. I wonder if he's annoyed that not only has Anthony Gordon scuppered hopes of a permanent move to Barcelona, but he's now pitched up and taken his England spot as well.
What did you make of the Spence inclusion, Crookie? I understood it to a point, but as the game kind of progressed, it almost made less and less sense to me.
Yeah, I could see the reasoning when I broke the team news yesterday, because obviously that was an attempt to stop Antoine Semenyo, far and away Ghana's best player, genuinely I think a top-class talent. But actually, is that quite defeatist? You know, should it not have been about England taking the game to Ghana as opposed to self-preservation? And in Nico O'Reilly, you've obviously got a left back who's more comfortable dropping into midfield, and it was a very important area, that midfield battle.
And also as well, I mean, I understand it, but Semenyo didn't even play on that side. He played on the other side.
No. Yeah. But I think that would have been Tuchel's plan, and obviously maybe Ghana threw the spanner in the works there. I mean, listen, it's not a disaster. We got 4 points. We qualified. We should beat Panama and top the group, and maybe just that dampening of expectation might not be a bad thing. But we're deep into the tournament now. I think France were the team I picked out before a ball was kicked. I've seen nothing to put me off them. I've been more impressed with Argentina than I thought I would be. I thought maybe this would be one tournament too far, but at the moment, I'm not seeing past a repeat. I think it could well be France-Argentina again in the final. Of course, if it goes to plan, England would play Argentina in the semi-finals, I think, in Atlanta.
God, what a fixture that would be. Right, Crookie, we're going to move on now to one of the big topics of the World Cup. Of course, I'm talking about hydration breaks. Gianni Infantino has said that they are purely a sporting matter and they bring in no additional revenue for FIFA. He said that one of the main reasons for having drinks breaks every match is to create equal conditions for all competing nations. Look, you've been in the grounds, Crookie. You know, you've witnessed it firsthand, what these hydration breaks actually look like and actually feel like. How are people reacting to them?
Well, I think he's gone now. I heard a little pop there as well, and I think Crookie's no longer there. I'd be interested to see what he said about that, because Infantino, he better not. Do you know what I mean?
It's always very clear, interesting, isn't it? It's so obvious what Infantino's motivations are. It isn't about anything other than extracting money. But I also think it's very interesting to get the perspective. I was really looking forward to hearing what Alex Crook was going to say there from within the stadium. Like what?
Well, you hear the boos coming through the TV.
But you know, like VAR in a stadium is so much worse than VAR on the telly.
Yeah.
Because you literally haven't got a clue what's going on.
Yeah.
So I wonder how it feels in the ground. I wonder what impact it has.
I think it's just bad. I think Crookie's back now. Crooks?
Yeah, I don't know if some of those ghosts and gremlins got in the system outside the Ghostbusters house there. But what I was going to say, I've only been to 2 stadiums so far, Houston and Dallas, both of which are air conditioned and have roofs. There were no need for hydration breaks in those games. Actually, we've been to 3 games over the 2 stadia. Fans booed on every occasion when there was a hydration break. And Infantino may well come out and say that the agreements were signed with the television companies before this tournament. I'm sure it would have been factored in that there were going to be hydration breaks, and it would be unlike FIFA not to exploit that opportunity. And I was reading an article earlier. In the USA alone, those hydration breaks are worth somewhere in the region of $250 million in television advertising. So let's call them out for what they are. If you want a drinks break, fine. Should be a minute max for me. Doesn't need to be 3 minutes. The only reason it's 3 minutes is because the TV companies can sell commercials.
Crookie, I know this is very much a FIFA thing, and obviously it's America, so I understand why they're doing it. And as you said, there are 250 million reasons as to why they're doing it. You don't think there's a situation where, say, UEFA in the Champions League, they employ something similar to this?
I really hope not. I really hope not, because it's already becoming too Americanised, this World Cup, and you know we need to protect the beautiful game. And yeah, this is certainly an ugly element of the beautiful game. And you know, it can change the course of matches because it gives the coaches the opportunity to get extra messaging across, that they're basically using it as a tactical breakdown as well. And I can't remember the game I was watching, but there's one game where they called a hydration break as a team were lined up to take a corner. That can't be right.
No, that's ridiculous. We're going to now finish with Cristiano Ronaldo after he arrived at the World Cup with 2 goals against Uzbekistan yesterday. During his celebrations, he stared into a TV camera and he screamed, "I'm back." What do you reckon to this, Alex Crook? Is he actually back? Is there a world where Cristiano Ronaldo is now in contention for the Golden Boot at the end of this World Cup?
I don't see it, Rory, to be honest. And obviously, as a Manchester United fan, when it comes to the GOAT, I should really come down the side of Cristiano Ronaldo. And I did until the last World Cup. And seeing Messi mesmerised defences, and particularly I was at the final, almost single-handedly carrying Argentina to that World Cup. And then you see what he's done in this tournament. He's got 1 hat-trick in the first game, should have got another treble in the second, obviously missed a penalty. He's younger than Ronaldo, and you've got to factor that into account. But Argentina just seem to have found a way where it doesn't matter that Messi doesn't run, he doesn't track back. Those 9 outfield players play their game to get the best out of him. And it still seems to me that Ronaldo is an individual, and that the Portuguese players are not quite able to do that in the same way. It's a good win, he's got a couple of goals, and I'm pleased for him, but it's Uzbekistan. I just don't think Ronaldo has the capability at this tournament to do that against an elite nation, and I think Messi probably still does have it in his locker.
There we go. Alex Crook, thank you so much for your time.
Cheers, Crooks.
Keep that Stetson on. It looks fantastic. When you're in London,
It's staying. It's part
Alex,
of
when I
the
next see you
fabric.
in London, I want you in that hat.
It's a promise.
Can't wait. Can't wait. That was a roundup of all the latest World Cup action on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They're here for it.
Daily Tournament Roundup on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day Live with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Still to come, we want to hear from you, Scotland fans. How do you think you should set up tonight? 03717 22 3344. Next, though, it's the very best of talkSPORT.
I've had a lot of messages from folk back home saying that was a very Gareth Southgate-like England performance, and I understand the sentiment, and I do think Thomas Tuchel should take a little bit of criticism, Simon, for not reacting earlier. He could have hooked both wide players for me at half-time. I thought Madueke was poor. I don't understand what people see in Anthony Gordon. I can't believe that Barcelona have paid the money they have for him. Yeah. And it was only really when Saka and Rashford in particular came on that England carried any kind of attacking threat.
But it's interesting because people make a song and dance about Rashford, and when he starts for England, he very rarely sets the place alight. It's interesting that he switched. What I watched him do was switch Madueke to bench side because he obviously wanted to have a conversation with him during the course of the game. Rather than sub him, he put Saka on, and he put Madueke onto the left and attempted to drive him on. Ironically, some of the best moments came from Madueke. I think he's a speedboat without a brain, but the other people, including the England manager, think he's better than that. So there's obviously a situation where there's an expectation. Rashford comes into this conversation every time. And how many times has Rashford started for England? And we can look back and go, what a performance that was. Rashford's an impact player. There's a reason why Barcelona haven't signed him. There's a reason why he got marginalised at Manchester United and his form was so poor. And some of it's his attitude. So you can't just turn around and say, well, Rashford is a solution.
But should he have not been able to make an impact earlier, Simon? That's my point.
Possibly, but I don't think it was a Southgate-like performance. I think there was elements of the game that people can draw a parallel with, but England's attitude towards the game was not to try and survive it and accept a point. He threw so many attacking players on to try and achieve an account. That's nothing like Southgate. At the end, the reasons why the Ghanaians got a couple of chances at the end, and you're not going to go through a whole game without some jeopardy, was that England's midfield was reduced to actually offensive only. We took off anything that was vaguely resembling defensive, pushed out Declan Rice even further up, and threw on every single conceivable attacker that we could possibly
But having said all that, and I'll put this to the two of you, with all the attacking options available to them, is it not a
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Now, still to come, we want to hear from Scotland fans. How do you feel ahead of this huge game against Brazil? What do you want Steve Clarke to do? How do you think he should set up? Let us know. 03717 223344. Just quickly, Gianni Infantino has said that hydration breaks are purely a sporting matter and bring no additional revenue for FIFA. And talkSPORT understands that it's now a matter of when, not if, for Craig Bellamy to become the new manager of Burnley. Bellamy managing Burnley. What do you reckon to this one, Darren?
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for him. Really good opportunity, you have to say. Done a fantastic job with Wales.
Do you think it's a good appointment for Burnley?
Yeah, but I always find Burnley a bit of a strange one because Scott Parker obviously was there, did well in the champ, got up, and then didn't go as great. Vincent Kompany did wonderful things in the championship, then took them down, then got the Bayern Munich job. It's a very bizarre role. It's quite hard to succeed. I mean, if you stay in the Premier League, you get a great chance. I mean, Sean Dyche is a legend there. But for Craig Bellamy, it's a good opportunity for him, 100%.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, though, it's time for this. This is the best of talkSPORT and Friends, where we run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across talkSPORT and our sister stations. Right, we're going to kick things off with the Sports Bar. Jamie O'Hara asked Jason Cundy the all-important question. It's the question on everyone's lips. What's the fastest animal you could outrun?
Cow?
Cow!
They don't go quick. I think cows are quite quick. How fast is a cow? I think cows are quite quick, you know. Do you reckon? I think they are.
Don't know, mate.
I think they're quicker than you think.
No,
because there's a lot of bulk.
I reckon.
How fast can a cow run? I'll ask my mate.
12 mile an hour. Your mate never talks to your mate. Just type it in your phone. It does my head in.
25 miles an hour.
What?
Jay.
What?
I was about to say that. There's absolutely no way in this world that Jason Cundy can outrun a cow. When they get moving, they're unstoppable.
Yeah, quick.
What's the fastest animal you reckon you could outrun?
Fastest animal can outrun? Pig.
Pigs aren't fast, though.
Yeah, they're quite nippy.
I don't think... I'd never, ever describe a pig as being nippy.
Yeah.
What's your favourite? What's your favourite meat to eat?
Am I supposed to rank them?
Yeah, rank them. Rank your favourite meats.
I'd go 1 chicken, 2 lamb, 3 beef, 4 pork.
Do you reckon you could make it as a farmer? You know this like Clarkson's Farm and all that.
That's a great programme, that.
It's a great programme.
Yeah, I'd love to give it a go.
Do you think you could do it?
Yeah, but you can't cook.
You don't have the minerals for a farm game.
Yeah, I can.
Nah, you're not a farmer. You're not. You don't have the. You're not the man for the job for being on a farm. No.
Mate, you can't cook nothing. So you're not.
I can't.
Some people have said to me, "You're not a man."
I belong.
Do you know what I mean?
I belong.
You can't cook.
Trust me, I'm very good on a farm. Cundy and O'Hara are back tonight, taking your calls when the Sports Bar returns at 10 p.m.
Over to our racing correspondent Rupert Bell. Here he is describing a strange interaction with the late Queen Elizabeth II.
She already knew that I'd probably been drinking. Anyway, so yes, and she actually thinks I'm a complete, absolutely reprobate because after Big Orange won, of course, my son then accused me of telling her to her face that this is my father who slept in your car park last night.
When's the last time you got really drunk?
When's the last time I got drunk?
Yeah.
Oh, it was as often as possible.
When's the last time?
2 nights ago.
What was going on?
2 nights ago, just opened a bottle of wine with the lucky Mrs. J.
What? Just
Yeah, just had a drink at home. Okay. When the sun's out, I like it. Nice G&T in a pub garden.
What, you got a garden?
Yeah, I got a garden.
Do you go and sit in the garden and have
Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. It's my favourite part of the day. I take my gardening very seriously these days. A boy from the inner city.
You can't.
Suddenly got a garden. Oh, mate, you should see me out there watering it. I'm down the garden centre. Love it. Take it really seriously.
Okay. If you had a meeting with the king, what's the first thing you'd say?
The king? If I met the king, I'd say, sort it out, Charlie. What is going on here?
Charlie.
That's what I'd say. Sort it out, Charlie, please.
Have you ever listened to 21 Minutes to Go?
21 Seconds to Go?
No, 21 Minutes to Go. Do you even know what that is?
I know 21 Seconds to Go.
No, but
I know it inside out.
No, 21 Minutes to Go. Have you never heard of this world-famous podcast? Podcast? Yeah, podcast, yeah. It's appalling. You never heard of it?
No, remind me.
You haven't heard of it, have you? Cundy and Goldstein.
Oh, is that... Yeah, no, I do know that.
Yeah, now you do. I've said it 6 times. You didn't know
I didn't know the name of it, but of course I know the podcast.
What's it called?
21 Minutes to Go.
See?
21 Minutes to Go, and it's fantastic.
For all the best bits of Hawksby and Jacobs, check out the H&A Daily podcast or wherever you get your podcasts from.
And with White and Jordan coming to you from New York, New York, here's an interesting observation from Simon Jordan.
Yeah. Thinking about someone kidnapping you. They wouldn't have difficulty finding you, would they? Because you announce every single day that we're on the 17th floor of the news building or the 50th floor of the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
But I imagine after the 57th edition of That There Is No Doubt,
yes,
they would send you back free of charge, I suspect. And after you've regaled them of That There Is No Doubt for the 575th time,
yes,
they probably would have sent you back.
OK, thank you very much indeed for that.
Who do you think at talkSPORT would make the best spy, apart from me?
Billy.
Billy?
Yeah, because you just...
Yeah, he's a ninja. You wouldn't see him come in, you wouldn't know he was there.
I was going to say nerd, but yeah, definitely Billy.
No, but he's stealthy, isn't he? He's like a ninja. He could creep into a room, you'd never know.
Well, Andy always says he's just irrelevant, so that's why you don't know he's there.
What do you think Jim and Simon are getting up to in New York together? What are they doing in their spare time?
Do you know what would surprise me? If they're doing absolutely nothing together.
Do you think?
Yeah, like
what, just a show together?
Yeah, like Jim's doing what he's doing, Simon's doing what he's doing, and the only time they come together is for the show.
Yeah, it could well be. What's the best and worst thing?
Yeah, that is
about
funny.
What's the best and worst thing about working on the 17th floor of the news building? That's where we are. We're on the 17th floor of the news building.
The best thing is the views that we used to have out of the studio, but obviously now I only get a little glimpse. The worst things are the lifts. I was getting around midday. The lifts are appalling. You sometimes are waiting downstairs for 10 minutes for a lift.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now, Jim and Simon are back at their new time of 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And, of course, you can find all our shows on the talkSPORT app, where you can swipe between talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2 and all of our other sister stations so that you never miss a moment.
What?
Now, next up, we want to hear from Scotland fans. 03717 223344. How are you feeling ahead of tonight? How do you think Steve Clarke should set up? This is World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent.
Very, very disappointed. I know it can happen, and you know, if you're an England fan, you're used to this disappointment at every tournament at some stage. But I've got to tell you, mate, I'm going after one person. I'll tell you that person is in a second.
Who is it? I want to know.
Going after Tuchel, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah. I thought his team selection was wrong. I thought he changed it way too late. His changes, I thought, were too similar. I think you've got to mix it up. And I've seen Thomas Tuchel's teams, and I've seen him change game. We saw that against Croatia, against a low block like Ghana. I just want to give them some credit, by the way, because they deserve a huge amount of credit because of the way they played. But come on, is that it? Is that the best that we've got going forward in a low block like that? And I sat there, and we sat there and watched it. And I said to you, I'd keep the same team at half-time, and at 49 minutes and something like 48 seconds, I said to you, Joe, I've seen enough. I wanted to see something, and there was no urgency. And he left it until I've got the subs here.
Well, it was hydration break, wasn't it? Around that.
He made his first sub on 65, and I said to you in the break, I think he'll leave it somewhere about 60. After 50 minutes, I'm going, nope. If they've not listened to you, we're seeing the same old tripe.
Mm-hmm.
Same old tripe turned out, and he left it until 65 minutes. And it was too little, too late. Yeah, we had a rally at the end. You'd expect Ghana got something to hold on to. They're not going to break their shape. I thought they defensively were excellent.
How slow were we? Oh, mate, how slow were we? It was Southgate all over again. Mm-hmm. It was genuinely, I was sat there going, oh my God, this is another Southgate performance again. After the brilliance that I saw against Croatia, I'm thinking, here we go. The country's alive. The player is alive. We've got a new team. Same performance I see every single time we turn up in a major tournament.
Do you know what?
Absolute guff.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
In the history of football, there may never have been a better player than Edson Arantes do Nascimento. This guy, the most decorated player in World Cup history. Imagine being 17 and playing at a World Cup. Well, not only did Pelé achieve that, he was probably Brazil's best player in 1958, even with a baby face like this. He scored 6 goals in their run to what would be Brazil's first World Cup triumph. Pelé was the talk of world football and was swamped everywhere he went. He was expected to be the main character in Chile 1962 as well, but in just the second group stage game he tore his calf and that was his World Cup done. As you can see, Brazil still won it all. 4 years of recovery and rediscovering his magic form in front of goal led to 1966, another tournament that for him wouldn't go to plan. Pelé was targeted by Bulgaria and Portugal in the groups, and after being kicked all over the park by the Portuguese, he eventually had to be carried off the field at Goodison. And that was it. Brazil were knocked out at the group stage for the first and only time. He vowed never to play in a World Cup again, such was his fury at Portugal's antics on Merseyside. But he came back for 1970, where we saw maybe the greatest team in World Cup history. It's actually pretty unanimous. Some say that team brought about the term beautiful game, or jogo bonito in Brazil's native tongue. That team blitzed the competition in Mexico, and it all led to this. Across his career, he scored so many goals, he's even recognised by Guinness as the world record holder. I mean, just look at that. 1,283. Madness. Thanks, Ronnie, we know. At the World Cup, he bagged 12 in 14 games. I mean, talk about a strike rate. Around the world, we all debate our country's greatest player. In Brazil, they debate who's second, behind the only man to have won 3 World Cups, a man who they call O Rei, the King.
You're listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Now, still to come, we're going to be getting team news from tonight's 8 p.m. kickoff. But now it's a big old night for Scotland ahead of this game against Brazil, and it's live right here on talkSPORT.
Early ball to Saibari, who's kept himself onside and smashes it into the net. Scotland are 1-0 down already.
First of all, you have to let the players suffer a little bit. They don't like losing. The games don't get much easier.
It will go to the final match round in Miami against Brazil.
We don't want a battering from Brazil, but Brazil have been up and down.
They'll just sneak through, but we don't want to be going there and getting a hiding.
The ball over the top, Vinny Jr. comes through, ball on the right foot, scores! Back-to-back goals in the World Cup for Vinicius Jr. Brazil 3, 80-0.
We'll have to do better on the pitch. I am not disputing that at all. But if the public of your country are doing you proud, that might be a bigger thing than your football team doing you proud.
Low ball in Adams, what a save! Out to McGinn! Deflected in! It's Super John McGinn!
They want to win the game, and if they can't win the game, they don't want to lose it. That's the focus we'll have, and take on another side for the world's top 10.
Right, Right, it's a huge night of football for Scotland as they take on Brazil in their final group game. It's, of course, live on talkSPORT at 11 p.m. tonight. A win would guarantee a top 2 finish. A draw would see them go through in third, but they could even lose and go through if they avoid a heavy defeat. Now, ahead of this game, manager Steve Clarke has been speaking to talkSPORT's Shabana Hearn, and he was asked if they'll need to be more cautious ahead of an opponent as strong as Brazil.
I don't know what to say because I've got the Scottish media here and they kill me for being too conservative. I think we've shown in my time in charge, whether some people agree or not, that we can be very flexible with our system. We used the 5-3-2 or the 5-4-1 system to a good effect before. This time we've been concentrating mainly on the back four. But for the game tomorrow, you have to wait and see because I don't want to tell Carlo what we're doing.
The Tartan Army are living the dream out there. Miami, Brazil, Scotland at a World Cup. When you lie in bed at night, what does the dream look like for you? How far would you like to go, or do you envision going in this competition?
When I go to bed at night, I just fall asleep straight away. It's quite 5 weeks since I left home, so it's been a long time away for an old guy. What do I envision? I envision every time my team goes to the pitch, I just want them to play as well as they can. I don't look beyond the game tomorrow against Brazil. And if the team turn up and play as well as they can, then I'll be a happy coach.
God, it doesn't get much bigger than this for Brazil, does it?
Honestly, it's horrible, isn't it? Absolutely horrible. It doesn't get much bigger than this for Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine. Imagine the streets of Rio de Janeiro now.
With what?
They're going to be buzzing, aren't they?
Well, they've got Scotland.
Yeah.
It's horrible, isn't it?
It's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge game for Scotland.
Do you think?
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
it's going to be quite big for Scotland, but for Brazil.
What, to play the mighty Scotland?
Yeah. Do you think they live in the dream?
You are honestly asking me. It should be a good game. I expect Brazil to win, but it's going to be fascinating to see how both teams set up. Because you know what's going to happen. Brazil, throughout the course of history, have not only been able to play one way, but they're synonymous with playing one way.
There is
front foot. None of this low block with Brazil.
No. They
don't do that.
Not. Have you been impressed by what you've seen of them so far in this?
No, I did their first game against Morocco. I thought they were awful. But then second game against Haiti, then yeah, but they had to win that game. But the Morocco game, I did think, like, I went into it, I never really made them one of the favourites before the World Cup started. Although, listen, I absolutely love the Brazilian national team, anything to do with Brazilian football. But I didn't have them as one of the favourites. Then watching them against Morocco, it was even further where I said, no, they're definitely not winning this World Cup. They beat Haiti, yeah, good performance. I'm still not sold or convinced.
What is it about them that doesn't convince you? Because when I look at their side, you think about like the spine of it.
Yeah.
The keeper, excellent. Two centre halves, excellent. The midfield, not quite excellent, but very good.
But that was the problem against Morocco. Is that it was like you could drive a train through it or a bus, whatever you want to drive. The gaps were huge. Yes, Vinicius Junior, good player, probably a little bit better than good. I thought Cunha came in and played his part. Igor Thiago didn't quite work for him. You've got Rafinha, but I think he's out now with a hamstring. People are saying that he potentially won't feature. So yes, I think they're a good side, but I just think there are sides out there that are a lot better.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. It's just, so you think, you've got Alisson in goal, they'll be very happy with that. You've got Marquinhos and Gabriel at the two centre-halves.
Yep.
Again, very happy with that. Bruno Guimaraes, Casemiro, it's not very Brazilian, is it?
No, it's not. That's the thing. It's almost very, very workmanlike, and that's no disrespect because both of them are top players. But even the midfield three of Paquetá, who was at West Ham, Guimaraes, and Casemiro, like you put them up against most midfield trios. You put them up against Fabian Ruiz, Rodri, and Pedri.
Yeah,
they're not getting anywhere near that.
Yeah, I do agree. There is certainly a vulnerability, but when I think about playing Brazil, when you think about what Scotland are going to encounter tonight, playing Brazil at a World Cup, it still feels like the pinnacle of football, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. But it's Brazil. I mean, Brazil haven't won it since 2002, which is in my head.
For them, that's a travesty, isn't it? Obviously, we'd be very happy with that, but for them, that's ages.
But because 2006, I remember 2006, they come up against probably one of the best individual performances I've ever seen in Zidane. 2014 was a time where I thought, you know what, they might win it in Brazil. Neymar breaks his back. They get smashed 7 by Germany. And they haven't really been near it since. I mean, they went out to Croatia. Was it the last World Cup on pens?
Yeah, I remember it in Russia. In Russia, Gabriel Jesus played up front. I think he got the worst record. No Brazilian number 9 had ever not scored at a World Cup for Brazil until Gabriel Jesus in Russia.
It just hasn't worked for them. And I think in this tournament, I think they'll go deep in it. but I don't think they'll win it.
No. And what are your thoughts on Scotland? What do you think Steve Clarke should do here? Do you think that when you can lose a game, and as long as you don't lose too drastically, you will still get what you want out of the group? How do you think he's going to approach it?
I mean, I don't know what the state is with Tierney. I don't know what the kind of injuries is. Is he going to be fit or not? But that play, that they did against Morocco, Tierney and Robertson on that left-hand side. I think if Tierney's fit, he'd probably go with that again, just to kind of double up. But yeah, I think they're going to. You have to compact the midfield and get men behind the ball, and it's going to be a big job again for whoever plays up top. I almost feel like in a side that don't really have possession as much, like a Scotland, whoever you play up top, whether it be Adams or Shankly or Dykes, they have to have the ball up. That's the most important thing. You want them to get a goal, of course. But when you've not touched the ball for such a long time and then Scotland finally get it and they give it to you, you have to hold it. If you draw fouls, bring others into the game, just hold the ball up for your team and allow Scotland to get up the pitch. That's the most important role for the centre forward.
Yeah. Do you think they should start Ben Gannon-Doak?
Yes.
Yeah. He was obviously very good, wasn't he, against Haiti? And then he ended up on the bench against Morocco. He's got to be back in.
I don't care how old he is, because I've heard some people talking about Steve Clarke. He's only 20. Listen, we let Rooney off the leash. We let Michael Owen off the leash. We let Bellingham off the leash. I think for Ben Gannon-Doak, his pace will terrify Brazil, and I mean terrify them. So if you can get him early, carrying you up the pitch as well, I'd get him on the pitch.
Yeah, I completely agree. Right, let's hear from Scotland captain Andy Robertson, who's been speaking ahead of tonight's game, and he said that they are ready to embrace the challenge.
Yeah, look, it's one that we look forward to. We're playing against a massive country, most iconic in World Cup, obviously most decorated, but it also gives us an opportunity to achieve, our dreams as well. We want to achieve history for our little country, and we have an opportunity to do that tomorrow night.
An amazing encounter, this. It really is. Obviously, the Scotland fans are going to be loving it. It's going to be so enthralling. I just don't know how they're going to approach it. I don't know what the game plan is. Is the game plan, they kind of know that Brazil are better than them. The game plan is make sure that you don't get smashed.
No, it won't be that. It'll be a little bit like Ghana and England yesterday. It'll be the exact same, where they'll probably defend really deep, really compact again. But then when they get the opportunity to break forward with their numbers, you've got to take that opportunity. Now, it nearly worked for Ghana. They still left there with a point. But they defended really well. Everyone's going to have to be disciplined. Everyone's going to have to know their roles. All it takes when you play against a side like Brazil or any top nation, all it takes is one person to switch off, and the whole jigsaw falls down. Jigsaw, not even domino. The dominoes just start falling. One person switches off, and the whole thing falls to pieces. Like Ghana last night, not one person slipped.
Yeah.
So everything was just Scotland.
Do you think they can do it, Scotland? Do you think they can hold on to whatever they need to get something out of this game in order to progress?
100% they can.
Yeah, it will be 100%.
If Cape Verde can get something against Spain, who are the European champions, I would like to think Scotland are better than Cape Verde.
Yeah.
So they can do it, and Spain are better than Brazil.
Yeah. It was going to be a fascinating encounter, and of course it's live on talkSPORT. Right, we want to hear from you next. Scotland fans, how are you feeling? Should Ben Gannon-Doak start tonight, and how should Steve Clarke set up his side? 03717 22 3344.
This is where everyone gets him wrong. The thing about Cristiano is it's incredible to me, and I feel it as a great honour that I have become a good friend of him. I love the guy. He's a great guy. We talk all the time. It's a weird thing for me. We became friends because he liked my crime documentaries I did for ITV. Yeah. That's how he messaged me out of the blue, and that was how it started. But we become good friends. And the thing about Ronaldo, I just find incredible. He still gets unbelievably emotional when he scores a goal or wins a game or loses a game or misses a penalty, whatever it may be. To do that at 41 when you're a billionaire, and you've done everything in the game, it shows you that all that matters to him is football.
It shows you that you're playing against Uzbekistan. In the last Euros 2024, he didn't score one goal.
So
I thought we lost you there. You went really quiet for a minute, Piers. What happened there?
Well, I didn't get been really quiet. Harry Kane.
I thought the line
Harry
dropped.
Kane,
Honestly.
okay, Harry Kane had a poor game last night. Why aren't you pelting him like you would Ronaldo?
Well, no, we're just talking about Ronaldo. I'm not talking about Harry Kane.
No, of course you're not. You're not talking about Harry Kane because you like Harry Kane.
Why are you
No,
picking on
Ronaldo-
Harry Kane? Why are you picking on Harry Kane? I thought you were English.
Because I
Piers.
think he had a poor game last night, like the whole team. But where's the great inquest into has Harry Kane lost it? Is he a has-been? Is he was? No one's going to have that conversation because his goal records shows that he is a brilliant striker.
Not at the Euros.
Ronaldo's goal record under Martinez that you've just said.
None.
That goal record under Martinez is unbelievable.
Do you think
should be lauding him as the best finisher in the world?
Qualifies. Put him in a big tournament.
After he scored that
He's
goal.
in a big tournament. He just scored 2 goals.
Piers,
What are you talking about, man?
After he scored that first goal to the cameras, he says, "I'm back.
Yeah.
People
Embarrassing.
haven't liked that because they say Messi would never do that.
Oh, so what? I love the fact that Ronaldo makes his critics eat crow every single time. Right, the whole of social media for 4.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app. Now, still to come, we're going to hear from Scotland fans ahead of their clash with Brazil tonight, live on talkSPORT. Give us a ring, 03717 223344. But just quickly, Wales manager Craig Bellamy is in advanced talks with Burnley over becoming their new head coach. Malagusto is considering leaving Chelsea this summer, but the club would want an astonishing 75 million quid for him. And Brighton boss Fabian Hertzler was part of talkSPORT's coverage of England against Ghana last night, and he had this to say about Thomas Tuchel's team.
I compared a little bit with Arsenal the last season. Arsenal was good in every phase of the game. They were good in high pressing, they were good in when they had to defend low, they were good in set piece, they were good in controlling the ball. So I refer to a very complete team for me, a complete team regarding different phases in the game, but also a complete team regarding that I feel there's a real loyalty between the players and the coaching staff, and just having a really good time together, it seems to be. And I think that's very important in a tournament. It's not only on the pitch, it's also to have a good cohesion, relationships beside the pitch, and that just seems to be quite well at the moment.
What do you make of all that, Benty? Do you think there's a correlation, a clear correlation between England and Arsenal?
Hey, first and foremost, the cheek of Fabian Hertzler. I remember when they played they played Arsenal.
He had a real pop at,
He said he called it not football.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember, he said about the time-wasting antics. One team only tried to play football, the other one didn't try to play football. They're making their own rules.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's so funny. Don't get me wrong, I thought he was brilliant last night. Listening to him, his insight on the coverage, obviously, for talkSPORT, I thought was fascinating. But I did have a little chuckle to myself when I did hear him making them comments about Arsenal, and he compared England to Arsenal. But certainly there are similarities. I mean, the set place goal in the last game, the physicality of this England team as well. But it's a hard one because Arsenal for such a long time this season have been called like the brand of football they've played has not been good enough. It's been anti-football. It's been just like set play FC and all these type of things. So, in a way, I see the similarities with the crosses and the set plays from England, but that's probably about it.
But do you think we should be doing that? Do you think it's right that England borrow from the champions of England? Do you think that what we should be looking at what Arsenal have done well, using the Arsenal players that are English, and trying to build around that? Like, Arsenal built a lot of their title victory on set pieces.
Yeah.
The two players that were responsible for the set pieces on both sides are English. So naturally,
I mean, you've got the biggest one probably missing.
You're thinking Gabriel?
Yeah, but we
have our versions of Gabriel.
Who?
We could have had Maguire. Dan Burns in the squad.
He was the one I thought of straight away, Maguire, because the way that Arsenal with their set plays and Gabriel, and that's the biggest thing, is that the set play from Declan Rice and Saka is on the money, right? More so Declan. He's just like incredible, as you saw for the Kane goal in the first game. But you've got to have players on the pitch that want to go and get their head on it. Like Gabriel for Arsenal wants to get his head on everything.
Maguire's like that though. You cross a Range Rover and he'd hit it,
and he's at home.
Yeah.
And that's the problem we've got. So you've got the set play, and if it's Kane, like I don't necessarily look at Mark Gahey, who's I think is a brilliant defender, or Konza, or anyone else for that matter, other than Kane in the squad. That you go, there's a real desperation to head it. Like Maguire, even Dan Burn, I think there's a desperation to head it. Gabriel, honestly, at times if you watch him, like Rory,
he sticks his head on everything.
He's fighting 2-3 people to get, even if he's got to go for a crowd just to get his head on it. We haven't got anyone that do that.
Yeah, he scored massive goals as well.
Massive goals. The Newcastle one's the big one.
Yeah, the Newcastle away. Quite early in the season, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was the one. You know, now Arteta has won a league. Like at the moment, before he'd won the league, it felt like he just had to get it over the line. He had to do it in any way he can.
Yeah.
He had to find a way to nullify Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
Now he's won it. Do you think that he'll evolve his system a touch? Do you think that they'll play a more expansive game?
Right, I go back to, I think it was 3 years ago, right? When we signed Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, right? We did a show, Drive, from Selhurst Park, first game of the season. Arsenal played this brand of football. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, this is the year Arsenal win. It was beautiful to watch. You had Saka coming in off the line. Ben White was overlapping. Odegaard was in the pocket.
Right,
It was lovely.
I remember you battered Bournemouth. You went away to Bournemouth and Gabriel was linking up with Odegaard so beautifully.
It was incredible, right? But we just ran out of gas plan that way. And then the following season, we came away from that a little bit, but it was still there. Then, not the season just gone, the one before that, it was there a touch. Last season, there was none of that.
Yeah.
Last season, none of that. It was just whatever we need to do this season to get the job done is what we're going to do. If that's set plays, if that's be a bit nasty, if that's anti-football, as some people called it, although there were times we played some really nice stuff, that's what we're going to do. And that's the sign of a really good manager. That I know it's taken him a while, and a lot of other clubs, like if you're Chelsea manager, you're not getting that time. Simple. If you haven't won the league in 6 years, you're not getting that time. You're out. They've allowed him to do that because he's got closer and closer. And it almost felt like this season just gone. It was like, no,
just get it over the line.
Yeah, it wasn't like last chance saloon, but just we've given you the centre forward now, the 60 million. As all these pieces, get it over the line.
I think that people are a little bit hypocritical about it because people lambasted Mikel Arteta massively, calling him a B-Tech version of Guardiola or whatever. He needs to come up with his own system. You're never going to be better than Guardiola at the Guardiola approach. He comes up with his own system, and then people don't like that either.
No, but he's found a way.
But you think that next season it will be prettier?
I think he'll go back to playing a brand of football with a little bit of both, because the hardest one to win is the first one. Everyone knows that the hardest one to win in any competition is the first one. That's why Arsenal's still trying to get that Champions League over, haven't won it. But getting Arteta's first Premier League title and this group of players over the line is huge. So now, even next season, there's almost a take a little breath now. Listen, lads, we've been here before, and it's not the fact that we're the bridesmaids again now. We can be the actual bride. So everyone just relax. We know what we're doing. So I expect the football to be better. Although I enjoyed watching it this year, I won't mind going back to like 3-4 years ago.
I think it could be more expansive from Mikel Arteta. Right, we are now taking your calls. Scotland fans, how are you feeling ahead of this huge clash against Brazil? And does Ben Gannon Stoke need to start tonight?
Sorry, pardon?
Gannon Doak. It's a mouthful, isn't it? Ben Doak would be so much easier. 03717 22 334. We're going to speak to John. John is a Scotland fan. What do you reckon, John?
Hi, gents. How you doing? Good evening and good show.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think that Scotland have to mirror exactly what Ghana did last night to England. Now, I don't particularly think that England played that badly. I just think Ghana played really well. So if Scotland can mirror something along those lines, stay disciplined, similar to what Ayew did to Elliot Anderson last night. He didn't totally control him, but to put him off his game somewhat. If everybody gets gave a job, sticks to that job, then hopefully we can mirror what happened last night with Ghana against England. That kind of a same outcome and performance.
John, let me ask you, right?
And Ben Gannon don't fits into that, as far as I'm concerned, because he's one of the only players that can get us up the park. And as you said, Ben, earlier on, he could give them a fight. He could give Brazil a fight.
If Scotland was to win tonight, where would this result rank in terms of Scottish World Cup history?
Aye, it's right up there. Listen, we know the challenge, right? We've been here before, but again, you said something that was listening to that kind of made me caught up as well. Brazil aren't any better than Spain. I wouldn't say even Brazil are any better than England. So if they can get held to draws by so-called lesser teams, Ghana meant to be the lowest ranked team in the competition at this point, then why can't we do it against a Brazil side if we stay disciplined and everybody sticks to their job? And if chances do come our way, then hopefully we can take it. We've got some good players, really good players.
Do you think you're going to do it? Do you think you're going to do it, John? You're going to get what you need out of the night?
Listen, we're always optimistic. Scotland's always a bridesmaid. We've always been the bridesmaid. Obviously, we've reached a few competitions recently, but I do think that we can get the result that we need to put us through tonight, and I think that could be a draw. But it needs to be 90 minutes, with the hydration breaks, 98 minutes switched on constantly, and there's a very good chance that we could be in the last
32.
Get out of the group stages yet.
Last 32. Great call there, John, and good luck. Good luck tonight. We're going to stay with the phone lines. We're going to go to Felipe. Felipe's a Brazil fan. You Brazilian, Felipe?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Brazilian born. Been here in the UK for a little while now. So yeah.
That would have been incredible. Felipe, the Scotland fan. Incredible.
How are you feeling ahead of the game and the World Cup generally? Like people don't seem to be seeing Brazil as proper contenders for this World Cup. How do you see it, Felipe?
But you know what? I quite like that. Just the fact that being from Brazil, I remember watching 2002. I was quite young back then, and it was like the whole country went on lockdown because you were celebrating for a whole week. But there's so much pressure every time Brazil enters the World Cup. Oh, we've got to win. Like the media there is ruthless. So I actually prefer coming in as not the favourite, so we can actually let the football play, let the boys do their job. I think Scotland will be a tough opponent, to be honest. I like their system. They're gonna play like Ghana, England and Ghana yesterday, I think. But they got to get the point. I just hope Neymar plays for at least the last 10 minutes or so, and Endrick as well. Endrick is someone good to watch for.
Do you know what's a good point, right? And let me ask you a question, Rory, because I think Felipe made a really good point there. Playing for Brazil is like no other, I think, in terms of pressure. Do you think there's more pressure playing for Brazil than there is Real Madrid?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I agree. I think I agree with you.
The only logic I can have for that is I don't think that. What's the most pressured position for a footballer in this country? Is it more pressured being the Manchester United or Liverpool front man or the England front man?
England.
There's more eyeballs. There's more expectations.
But I think Real Madrid, biggest club side in the world. The expectation there is massive. You win the league, not good enough. It's got to be Champions League.
Yeah.
And the pressure. Great players have gone there and flopped.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
for
true.
Brazil, it's like every single time you put on that yellow shirt.
Yeah, it really matters, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really matters. Have you changed your tune at all? Because I know you've got a lot of love and knowledge on Brazil as a nation in terms of their international foothold, but you're just not having them this tournament.
No, do you know what it is? I've just not seen I've seen obviously a lot of them, but I just don't think there are better players with better teams with better squads, and that's where I'm unconvinced. If they convince me, buzzing, but. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Be interesting to see how they do tonight. Now, still to come, we're going to be looking ahead to the rest of tonight's games, all live across the talkSPORT network. But first, it's time for No Googling. We want to know which country has lost the most World Cup finals without ever winning one. We'll tell you after this.
would have played with Rashford in against him, Jack. Why isn't he starting? Why is he getting brought on 83rd minute? Because I like Gordon, but Rashford is in a different league for me.
Yeah, I think with wingers, right? Wingers, I always think is such a difficult position because one game you can be the best player, and then another game it don't quite work out for you. You miss 1v1, you lose the ball a couple of times because they take so many risks. You want your wingers to take risks. And I feel like I agree with you, Gabby. I feel like Rashford has spent a year at Barcelona where, you know, they're wingers over the years, and the way they coach them and the detail they give them, like they're top level. And I think he's had a top season. I think, he's probably one we might see in the next game. I think 83rd minute was probably too late for him. Like, again, someone who dribbles, he gets at players. Anthony Gordon can do that, but I feel like if you can see that it's not working, like, change the wingers. That's one thing that you can do, and it's relatively risk-free in terms of like avoiding transition and stuff, and probably waited too long for that.
Jack, what type of England fan are you? Having played, of course, at the highest level for England, when you watch us at major tournaments, are you like me and most fans where 1 minute you think we're going to win the World Cup, the next you think the manager should get the sack?
No. You know what? I'll be honest. Gareth Southgate left me out of 2018. So when he was in charge, of course I wanted England to win, but there was always that little bit of anger in me. So this is actually probably the first one where I'm like a proper fan. And no, I think, you know, I was talking to someone last night and they were asking me who do you think's favourites, and I don't think, like, right now, like, it doesn't really matter who's doing well, who's not doing well. You know, I think Argentina lost their first game when they won it last time, and this tournament's a little bit longer as well. So, I don't know, I'm relaxed, maybe a little bit too relaxed, and I think we will come good. And you know, we got a game on Saturday where, like, we can play probably to 80.
Ronaldo Nazario. Need I say more? He's won it twice, played in 3 finals, was once its all-time leading goal scorer. But let me tell you about a day that lives in infamy in World Cup and Brazilian history. The year is 1998 and Brazil are cruising through the tournament in France. They've scored 14 goals in 6 games, 4 of them courtesy of R9. Brazil are favourites for the final, where they'll face the hosts at the Stade de France. But just hours before kick-off, while at their training base, Ronaldo suffers what's described as a convulsive fit. He's rushed to hospital, where doctors don't find anything wrong with him, so he insists he'll play. Back at the stadium, France are warming up, but Brazil, they're still in there. It's chaos. The Brazilian FA have just been given a team sheet without Ronaldo's name on it, but less than an hour before kick-off, a taxi arrives at the stadium, Ronaldo gets out and is shoved back into the 11. Brazil lose 3-0. It's a worldwide scandal. Ronaldo even ends up in front of Brazil's National Congress. He thinks he was suffering under the mental and emotional pressure and he just collapsed. It was truly incredible and made his redemption story 4 years later so much sweeter.
Guys, someone junior sings this. Don't tell me. It's not Roy Davis Jr., is it? It is. It's something like that, though.
Roy Davis Jr. was that Gabriel tune?
Yeah, but it's something junior. Who is it? Huh? Very Green.
Very Green.
What's the name, Jack? Ray Parker Jr.
Ray Parker Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well played. Well played. Who was Roy Davis Jr.? What song?
Gabriel. You told me that.
Hey. I don't think you heard me. I don't know if you listened when I speak. Yeah. Yeah. Banger. Absolute banger. You're listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. A few moments ago, we brought you the final no Googling of this evening. We asked, which country has lost the most World Cup finals without ever winning one?
Netherlands.
Correct. They've lost 3 finals. They lost in 1974, in 1978 and in 2010.
You see the 2010 one? Is that the one where Nigel de Jong come through, kick someone in the chest?
Yes, against the Spanish one.
And it was Howard Webb didn't send him off?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Bad day for Howard Webb. Right, following us from 7 p.m. tonight, Hugh Wozencroft hosts live coverage of Switzerland against Canada. Meanwhile, over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear the other game in that group as Bosnia and Herzegovina face Qatar. And we can take a look ahead now to all of tonight's action as we slide into Game Day with Burger King.
Sliding into Game Day on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Right, in Group B, we have Switzerland versus Canada. That's, of course, live on talkSPORT at 8 p.m. tonight. We also have Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Qatar. That's live on talkSPORT 2 at 8 p.m. Now, the permutations are quite complex. Canada will win the group with either a win or a draw. Switzerland need to win the group. Winner of Bosnia versus Qatar can qualify as one of the best third-place teams, while the loser will be out. How do you see this one going?
You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. You've done very well there, because that's...
ag, innit? It's major ag.
No, this would be a really good game. I think Switzerland versus Canada, obviously Switzerland getting that big result against Bosnia, and Canada, of course, in their last game, that big result against Qatar, the 6-0. So this should be a really good game. I mean, Jonathan David's having a great tournament, you have to say.
Yeah, no, he's doing really well.
For Canada.
He's doing. What do you make of Jesse Marsh in all this?
Joe, I don't mind him. He gets a bit of a bad rap because of the whole Leeds aspect.
I've got such a weird, irrational dislike of Jesse Marsh.
Why now? Go on.
No, I don't know why. That's what I mean by the irrational.
You
don't like him at Leeds. It's because I don't rate him. I don't rate him. I didn't really think that he covered himself in glory when he was talking about his time. Did you hear Clint Dempsey have to say that's not what happened? He sort of called Clint Dempsey out for a lack of patriotism in the American side, and Clint Dempsey was like, "That's just not how it was at all." And then Clint Dempsey basically went, "He's the one singing another national anthem, and he's sort of talking about a lack of patriotism in the American side."
I love Clint. I spent a bit of time with him at Fulham. Great guy.
Did you?
Great guy. Yeah. No, I don't mind Jesse Marsh. I think obviously the Leeds kind of situation, I understand, didn't go well for him, but he's in a great. You have to say he's done a really good job. You have to say you can't say he's not having a good. He's not doing a good job. Canada playing some really good stuff. I like the energy.
And I tell you what, the Bosnia and Herzegovina game against Qatar, that's massive, isn't it? Like one of those two sides, if either can get a victory, they're going to be going through.
Yeah,
like that'd be amazing. Like this is Qatar's first ever World Cup for one that they've qualified for. Obviously not.
Do you like this third place playoff?
No, I think it's absolute nonsense. The lack of jeopardy in the group stage makes these games like not that big. Like the fact that how many go through? How many go through now? Out of how many groups have we got? 12. 8. We only lose 6 teams. Is that right?
I think
it's a lot of football played to not lose enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the jeopardy. It does feel like, well, you know what? If we lose the first 2 games and nick a win in the last one, we still might get through.
Well, three draws will get you through. You could effectively lose. You could lose none, win none in the group, and probably make it through. In fact, almost definitely make it through. That's not enough.
So say you can do what?
You could if you get 3 draws.
Yeah.
You make it through, don't you?
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
3 points.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, I get it. I like the situation where you're going to get teams in the knockout stages that have never been there before, and it gives those an opportunity. But you are right. You are going to get a few games which is going to be a bit like...
Bit flat. There isn't enough at stake at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah.
Obviously, Group C, there's loads going on as well. All eyes on Group C. Scotland versus Brazil, that's live on talkSPORT at 11 p.m. Morocco versus Haiti, that's live on talkSPORT 2 at 11 p.m. And the permutations, again, are fascinating. Haiti are already out. Brazil must equal or better Morocco's result and maintain a superior goal difference to win the group. So Haiti out, that's a huge opportunity, isn't it, for Morocco to potentially take over Brazil on goal difference.
Yeah, I mean, you said Haiti are out, but I know it's not going to happen. But if Haiti was to beat Morocco 6-0, they're still in.
They're still in.
They're still in.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's not going to happen, but it's a mad one. But I'm fascinated to see the Brazil Scotland, because Morocco will beat Haiti.
Yeah, and they could potentially score a lot of goals. So
they're +2 down, they're -2 in terms of the goal difference, because Brazil are +3, they're +1. But there's no reason why they can't go and put 4 or 5 past Haiti.
And Scotland are obviously going to do their best to, if they lose, only lose by the minimum, because if they don't concede a lot, they're going to go through. Yeah. They've got the 3 points. They've got that first victory.
I also think it's always quite dangerous when you do that. When you go into a game with such a negative mindset, like, let's not get smashed by 4. Ultimately, you end up getting beat by 4.
But you see, the Moroccan mindset is going to be that they can. So Morocco are currently 2 down on Brazil. They will think that they can eclipse that 2-goal deficit, because they know that Scotland's motivation is going to be not to concede a lot, whereas they can score a lot against.
See, that is a lot to think about. Morocco are not going into the game thinking all of what you just said.
Do you not reckon?
No, Morocco are going into the game against Haiti and saying we'll beat them comfortably.
Yeah, but they only have to win. They only have to win by 2 to go level with.
They won't
Brazil.
be thinking about what Scotland. They're going, do you know what? If we just go in and win, we're through. And then it is a little bit like the playoffs in the NBA. Right, just make the playoffs. It doesn't really matter how you make it. Just get yourself in there. Yeah. It does feel a little bit like Morocco. Of course, if you win the group, you get an easier draw. I understand that, but
just get through.
Just get through. Just get there.
How have you been impressed by Morocco from what you've seen?
Yeah, I thought they were brilliant against Brazil. I think they were good against Scotland. Did what they needed to do against Scotland as well, and they're a danger. I don't think people are too much talking about them, but they've got such good players. I mean, Hakimi's probably the obvious one you speak about. Bouadi in the middle of the park, considering he's only 18, he's brilliant as well. They've just got a lot of players that you go, oh, he's decent.
Silky
yeah,
footballers.
He's decent. The energy, really well coached, played good brand of football as well. I think a lot of teams will play against them and they won't like it. Like if England drew Morocco, I would be like, oh,
yeah, not ideal.
I don't like that.
Not ideal at all. And obviously we saw Ghana do very well against England yesterday. We've spoken just now about how good Morocco are. Do you think that we're going to see an African side, somebody from the continent of Africa, win the World Cup in the near future?
There's no reason why not. I mean, it surprises me that there hasn't been one already, but I don't think there's. I mean, you look at Morocco, the way they're coached, brilliant. Ghana's performance as well, and you think about the great players that have been blessed to come, African players that have come to the Premier League, like blessed. I mean, I always go back to the Ivory Coast one. That's one where you look at Drogba, Yaya, Kolo. Who's this wide player that played?
Solomon Kalou.
Kalou. Yeah. They had so many
players. Yeah.
So anything. How have they not done something? Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, it'd be nice. I think it'd be brilliant for the football. It'd be brilliant to get a world champion come from Africa. But the European sides, of course, have had a dominance on that, as well as
it's been Europe of late, hasn't it? Europe's really taken hold. Like at one point, Europe were chasing South America in terms of who had more.
Yeah,
but Europe's dominated of late.
Do you think that's because you see when I think about the Brazilian aspect? Do you think because a lot of the Brazilian players now play in Europe?
I think it might have an impact. Yeah, obviously Argentina did it most recently, but prior to that, if you think about the winners,
it was France,
Spain. You know, it's
so it was France, Germany, Spain,
Europe,
Italy, Brazil.
Exactly. Yeah. Bearing in mind that it was a European winner in Brazil.
Yeah.
So yeah, the European
who won 2010 was Spain, wasn't it?
Yeah, the European side's been doing very well. That was a look at some of the day's key talking points, all thanks to Burger King.
Sliding into game day on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Yes, right. There is now a reminder that following us from 7 p.m. tonight, Hugh Wozencroft hosts live coverage of Switzerland against Canada. The team news is in for that one now, and Adam Bridge has all the details.
Yeah, this is the battle for top spot in Group B and for the right to stay in Vancouver, particularly prevalent, of course, for Canada, the home nation. Their round of 32 and round of 16 games would both be in Vancouver should they top the table. Let's do the Switzerland changes first. They make 4 from their 4-1 win over Bosnia and Herzegovina on match day 2. Manzambi, who scored twice, of course, Sal, Vargas and Jacques all come in for Vidmar and Doy, Abasher and Rieder. It's worth pointing out they all came on as substitutes in that game and impacted and helped Switzerland to victory. So no wonder he's gone for those 4 changes today. Canada make 2 from that 6-0 thumping of Qatar. One, of course, was enforced. Ismail Kone had that horror injury during that game. He's missing, of course, and Eustachio goes out as well. Chonaire and Saliba, who scored that terrific free kick, come into the starting 11. So there's plenty to play for. Top spot in Group B is up for grabs. The chance for Canada to get out the group for the very first time in a World Cup and to stay on home soil. And they'll also get 5 days extra rest if they can win the group as well. We're live. Build-up starts at 7. Kick-off 8 o'clock UK time.
Cheers, Adam. Now, meanwhile, over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear the other game in that group as Bosnia and Herzegovina face Qatar. Nigel Adderley has the team news ahead of that one.
And it's winner takes all, Rory, in Seattle today. Neither Switzerland, Bosnia or Qatar have been particularly impressive so far, but Bosnia and Qatar still have a backdoor route to the round of 32. If they get 4 points, then realistically they'll be going through. Both sides have had to make changes. Of course, Qatar had 2 players sent off in their 6-0 loss against Canada. They bring in their highest cap player, Hassan Al-Haydos. He comes back to captain the side. And Edin Dzeko also leading Bosnia. He makes his 150th appearance. And part of their changes also sees PSV's highly rated Esmir Bayraktaric come back into their midfield. We're underway over on talkSPORT 2 at 8 o'clock.
Cheers, Nigel. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Next up, we're going to be joined in the studio by One Word Billy for the end of show quiz.
For me, he got his tactics wrong. He got the starting 11 wrong. How Jed Spence is starting over Nico Riley, I'll never know.
Wasn't painful watching.
How Anthony Gordon starts on that left, I'll never know.
Yep.
How Noni Madueke wears an England shirt, I'll never ever know. The tactics were completely wrong. Just everything. I mean, Anthony Gordon out left. If Barcelona are watching that and they've signed that cheque for £70 million, part of that fault was the fact that Jed Spence gave him the ball so late that when he got the ball, there was 3 players around him, right? So there's hardly anything he could do but make space. Madueke on the other side, my goodness, how many times did he get the ball out wide and he had room to run at the defender and runs about 3 yards, stops, turns and passes the ball back.
Yeah. He did it a couple of times where he ran in behind and then got a crossing and you're like, okay, then keep doing it. Then he stopped doing it. And you just seen a quality shift when Saka come on.
Yeah, totally. But Saka's obviously not fit, right?
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford, obviously not fit, is what I'm hearing.
I think Rashford is.
Well, I'm hearing he's got a little niggle. That's why he only came on for like 15 minutes or something.
Yeah.
But then you look at the right back. I like Reece James. I think he's an excellent player. But that game, for me, was crying out for Trent.
Yeah, it was
if you need anyone on the right fullback position to whip crosses in, it was Trent. And it also, sorry, Gabs, it also underlined for me that when you've got a team that play in the way they do with 10 behind the ball in a low block and you need someone to unlock their defence, Cole Palmer, I mean, my goodness.
Yeah. It was a game for Palmer.
Of course it was. I mean, it's just, honestly, the manager leading up to this competition, like all England managers, they get me excited. I come on National Radio, I say we're going to win the World Cup. I see guff like that, and then I thought...
as well, look, you look at the game last night and you say, okay, you've got a cheerleader on the bench in Henderson who's there for vibes, when you could have had a player like Palmer just to open up a game like that. That game was crying for someone who's got that clinical pass. You know, that little lofted through ball into Harry Kane or one of the attacking players. We haven't got that on the pitch. Gordon, if I'm Barcelona, I'm...
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Enterprise. Rent a car, here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Following us from 7 p.m. tonight, Hugh Woozencroft hosts live coverage of Switzerland against Canada. And over on talkSPORT 2 at the same time, you can hear Bosnia versus Qatar. Right, let's get an update from the T20 World Cup. Claire Cottingham is watching England against the West Indies for talkSPORT.
England are currently 38-2. Not a perfect start for England. Amy Jones was out for 8 after a really bright start in the first over, though. She pitched it up in the air and was caught in the field. And in just the last few moments, we've just lost Sophia Dunkley too. Leg before wicket after England lost their review. She was out for 14. It's the big clash of the T20 World Cup at Lords as unbeaten England are facing the West Indies. The two are joint top of the group standings in B. England lost the toss and West Indies put them into bat in this blistering hot conditions in London on the hottest day of June. The hosts have firmly put themselves among the favourites, though, to win the title. 3 wins to their name, but it's the same for West Indies as well. Both of them looking to book their place into the semi-finals. England unchanged. They're still without the captain, Nat Skiver-Brunt. So once again, Charlie Dean is leading the side. And at the moment, it is Sophie Dunkley who's just gone. Alice Capsey is at 1. And at the moment, Danny White-Hodge is currently 2 not out. England then 40 for 2 in the third over.
Cheers, Claire. Now it's that time again. It's time for the end of show quiz. And one word, here he is. One word, Billy is in the studio.
Evening, lads.
How are you, Bill?
Yeah, I love this music.
Oh, yeah, you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, Bill, how's your day been?
Yeah, really good. Cheers, Benny.
Oh, why are you wearing jeans, bro?
I would never wear shorts in the office.
Bro, it's like 40 degrees, man.
No, it's just a little rule I have.
Are you wearing jeans, man?
Yeah, I know.
I think you've got to admire it. I mean, I'm a shorts man.
You know, yours are like hot pants, bro.
John McEnroe.
Why are they so short? Or why do you wear short shorts?
Because I wear short shorts. That's what they're meant to be. The clue is in the name.
Why don't
Why are you wearing Bermuda shorts? Why you love baggy shorts?
Because that's just me.
Nah, I'm short shorts. Short shorts till I die.
And a penguin number.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. What's happening today, Bill?
We've got a bit of guess the intro to finish the show on.
Oh, yes.
You're getting. It's been a while since we did this, but you were getting better when we.
That was aimed at you.
I was always good.
Yeah.
No, you got the easy questions. Do you know what? I'm going to go second today, Bill.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it was stacked against me last time. I feel like you give home advantage to Darren Bent.
Okay. Well, the songs are randomly drawn, so we'll
Don't
see.
believe you.
We'll see how that works out.
Who's first, Bill?
Benny, do you want to go first?
Nah, don't.
All right.
Don't.
Benny, you're up first.
No.
The host decides.
He's first.
Fine.
All right, yeah.
Benny.
That's not me, Skepta.
Yeah.
So shut down.
Yeah.
Skepta.
Yeah, you saved it just in time.
Yeah. Man's been with, and it shut down. Yeah.
Good start.
Jack.
Bet you're glad you went first. That would have been yours, Rory. Would you have got that?
No.
There you go.
No.
Good choice.
No, I
A
wouldn't.
bit skeppy.
No, it's too late for me. I was garage before it went grimy.
All right. Okay, Rory, over to you.
Right, let's
first
go.
one.
Yeah, I got that. Let the body move. Body move architects.
Wrong.
Body groove architects. Body groove architects.
Rory, you saved it like Bentley did.
Good going, Geezer. Good going.
1-1. After one each, good start. Bentley, back to you.
Oh my goodness gracious. I want to say, right, that's Drake, but I don't think it is Drake. One more time, Jack, please. Is that Stormzy? Scary.
No. Half right. Stormzy.
Oh, Bossy Bop.
Bossy Bop, yeah, I can't give you that.
Oh, bro, I'll take that.
No half points here.
Right, is it the post?
Chance to take the lead, Rory. Over to you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy, that. Minor.
Dizzy Rascal. It's Dizzy Rascal.
All right, Jack.
It's Dizzy Rascal. It's 100% Dizzy Rascal.
Kano.
No, it isn't. It's definitely Dizzy.
Gotta hurry.
I can't remember the name of the song.
Bonkers.
Yeah, it is Bonkers. No points
Annoying.
there.
That's annoying.
Still 1-1, right?
Really annoying. It's all right.
Bentley, back to you. You ready?
That is that is Tiny Temper.
Yeah, well played.
And that is the tune. I don't know the tune.
Pass Out or something like that.
No, it's not Pass Out.
Not Pass Out.
No, is it Joe?
Frisky.
Yeah, it's got someone else in it as well.
Labyrinth, I think. Yeah, Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiny Temper.
This is tough.
Still one. Fast start. It's
Very, very good quizzes, Bill.
Good
All right.
quiz.
1-1, Rory, over to you.
Right about now.
Funk Soul Brother. Don't know the name of the song.
Fatboy Slim, that is.
Oh.
It's the Rockefeller Skank as well.
I wouldn't have got Rockefeller Gang. I should have got
Funk
Fatboy
Soul Brother, check it out now.
Probably got time for one each, and
Yeah, let's go.
still
This is it.
all
Make
square.
or break.
Benny, here we go.
Oh, is that Pharrell? Featuring Daft Punk. She's up all night to the song. I'm up all night to get lucky.
Yeah, it's Daft Punk featuring Pharrell, but I'll give you that.
I mean, you know what I mean? Come on.
You got all the artists. Well done.
Right, this is it.
You need this
This is it.
for a draw, Rory. Here we go.
Sean Paul. Definitely Sean Paul.
I'll give you a clue. Outside, the weather.
It's not temperature. It's not. One more time, Jack. Look, quick.
Thunderball. Is that Megasadem? Bro, it's temperature.
Oh, no. Is it temperature?
Yeah, it is temperature.
Annoying. I said it's not temperature.
Yeah.
I did therefore say the word temperature.
No,
That one.
Well played.
Benny takes it. Well done.
Very annoying. Very annoying. Another brilliant quiz there, Bill. Thank you very much. Congratulations to Darren Best, who won it at the death. You've been listening to World Cup Game Day Live with me, Rory Jennings, and Darren Ben. Benty's back tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. on The Breakfast Show. Now, don't go anywhere, because up next is Hugh Wozencroft, and he brings you Switzerland versus Canada.
Jude Bellingham left a bit on one of their players, which upset the coaching staff of Ghana at half-time. The assistant coach had something to say. He could have left it, but it's not in him, really. So he answered back, and then it kicked off, and Carlos Queiroz got involved, and Morgan Rogers was trying to get him off the pitch. You kind of sense that, managers are saying, get into him, wind him up, because he could be a walking red card. I mean, what would you be saying to him? I mean, let's be honest, you did have a little moment on the pitch where your discipline went slightly awry, didn't it?
Problem with, you don't want to ever take the fire out of Bellingham. One of my closest friends in football was Craig Bellamy, and you see Craig on the pitch, and he was fiery and non-stop arguing.